Where am I? My camera's up there tonight. It's moved. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to KUMBTV's Eyes Up Mother Brown. We are back once again for West Ham United's latest encounter. This time it's Manchester United. United versus United once again. Although if you're watching on TV, you'll only hear one of the teams referred thusly. But there you go. If you stick with us, we'll try and make it a little bit more even. Old Trafford we go to this evening for the 5th round of the FA Cup. The Hammers without one or two people, important players, Man U resting one or two perhaps. Who knows? Gnome's going to bring us the teams. I am joined, of course, as I say, by Gnome tonight and by Rio. And also, although you can't see him on the screen right now, the pink Palermo, who is going to be joining us very, very shortly from underneath the boomerang, as always. We shall go then, as I said, straight over to Gnome for tonight's teams. Gnome, fire away, buddy.
Evening all. Obviously, we've got enforced changes due to the fact that Lingard is cup-tied and Antonio's dodgy hamstring not being risked. So we line up as follows. Fabianski, Soufal, Dawson, Ogbonna, Cresswell, Rice, Noble, Souček, Fornals, Bowen and Yarmolenko. On the bench, we have Balbuena, Benrahma, Lanzini, Alves, Diop, Fredericks, Johnson, Odebeku, and the goalkeeper, Trott. And for the opponents, a fair few changes there as well. But I can't tell you exactly what they are because I can't remember how they lined up last time. But they bring in Henderson in goal, and they have Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Telles, Matic, Fred, Greenwood, Van der Beek, Rashford, and Martial. Might go through their subs. Referee today is Paul Tierney, who you may remember when we played them at the end of last season in the summer. Spotted a rather good spot, a penalty, when Pogba raised his hands to block a free kick. So looks like we've got an honest ref this weekend, or this match anyway. Touch wood.
Did you just utter the word penalty? No. Yeah,
you remember those? That's probably the last one we got, wasn't it?
Well, what is this thing of which you speak? Never heard of it. Penalties, you say?
It's a kick which replaces a direct free kick for an offence that takes place in the penalty area. There is a mark 12 yards from the goal in the centre of the penalty area, from which such kicks are taken. Of course, today we also have the possibility of the match going to extra time and penalties, as we're talking penalties. So it will be settled this evening.
Okay, good stuff. Well, there it is. There's the lineups. Thank you, Gnome, for bringing us the teams tonight. Manchester United versus West Ham United. Yet again, we meet. Rio, we've had some wonderful meetings in the past with this lot. Could this be another one about to go down in the annals of West Ham United history, do you reckon?
From my point of view, I'm incredibly apprehensive and negative. I'm going to say we're going to lose by about 3 or 4. I just think the pace of Greenwood, Rashford and Martial, I think we're on a hiding to nothing here. Obviously, we've had to make a few changes because Lingard can't play. There's a few injuries thrown about, especially Antonio. So we're incredibly light up front. Benrahma's been left out completely. I'm glad to see Fornals get a little bit of a run out because I thought he was harshly dropped, and I always think he makes us tick a little bit, and he provides a lot of work rate, a lot of endurance, and he's probably one of my favourite players at the moment. So I'm glad to see him back. Hopefully he'll be able to shine. But yeah, I'm very, very nervous about tonight. I'm just wondering, should by some miracle we actually get to that elusive 120-minute mark on level terms, it does go to a shootout. Are we going to be wandering around the centre circle at Old Trafford, bewildered, going like, I don't know what to do. It's been so bloody long, yeah? Imagine that happening.
Yeah, going from none in the space of 8 months or however long it's since we. When was that last penalty out of interest? I mean, obviously
July. I think that was the last penalty.
8th of July, was it? Yeah.
So we've had one since then. We haven't had one this season, obviously.
Yeah, but so yeah, 7 months. 7 months it is, and going from none in 7 months to 5, or could be even more, couldn't it? In the space of one evening, we're certainly going to need our best. just sort of looking at that, Rio, penalty takers. Obviously, Mark Noble's in the side. You know, he's nailed on for one. But who else do you think we'll put up there for spot kicks? You know, if it does come to that.
See, this is another thing that worries me. I can't see a natural penalty taker out there apart from Noble.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd imagine Declan will step forward. He's that kind of character, and I think he'd strike a good dead ball spot kick.
Yep.
It depends on also. I mean, who's actually able to be able to walk at the end of this? Played so many games in so little time. It's the same core of 15, 16 players got us for the whole season.
It is.
I think extra time would be a bit of a killer for us. So I just think anyone who's walking, put your hand up. But I mean, myself, if they're still available, it'd be Noble, Rice. I'd actually give one to Kufel. I think. Oh, sorry, Sufel. I'll keep doing it. But
it's as bad as calling somebody Wolves when they're West Brom.
Yarmolenko. I mean, Yarmolenko's knows where the goal is, doesn't he? I suppose
he should do, but
there.
he's just so lackadaisical about not only life in general, but particularly football at times.
Yeah,
you just wonder what he'd do.
Yeah. I'd say that Dawson would take a no-nonsense penalty myself.
I was going to suggest Dawson actually. Yeah,
as well would be good.
Aaron Cresswell, obviously, as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can't imagine Dawson trying an Panenka, can you? Yeah. One of these sort of girly little hop, little step, and no, it's not going to happen. It's going to be all goal in.
Smash it.
It gives us one comedy moment per game, doesn't it, Dawson? He didn't provide one. When was it now? I can't remember when it was now.
Saturday.
Saturday. He didn't provide one Saturday. So if we do get to a shootout, he wants to provide his comedy moment. The Panenka could be on. You just never know. Well,
we wait to see. I mean, hopefully it won't go that far, and West Ham will do the business inside 90 minutes. But not an awful lot of confidence. I've got to say, I'm looking at this thinking, I can see a team that team of Gary Breen's performance from whenever it was 2003, was it? You know, when horrendous day. We went up there, didn't we? Full of optimism 2 or 3 years after the Di Canio went up there and thought we might be able to repeat it. Of course, the following year, I think we won 1-0 again, didn't we? When Jermaine Defoe scored the only goal in the league game. So we went up there full of enthusiasm and hope, and absolutely smashed. But we have, of course, known. Turned this mob over more than once or twice in the FA Cup in the past, and going right back as far as 1964. Now, I'm not going to suggest that you would remember that, but or even that you were there. But
I wasn't there, obviously. I think they might have charged you if you were 3 years old, so nobody took me. They didn't want to occupy a train seat, but I mean. Yeah, the footage of it is legendary. We were talking about the state of pitches the other night, weren't we? And how slightly sort of patchy Fulham pitch, and we were sort of raising eyebrows at that. And then, as I say, I just entreat everybody to Google the words baseball ground and just to see what pitches were like in the 60s and 70s. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, when I used to play, and I played for a fair few years, I used to love a mud heap, proper good wet mud heap. Yeah, love playing on that sort of surface. It was the bone hard, rock hard pitches that I always hated, where you came off where you got blisters on your blisters. Never like that. So,
yeah, but those old
anyway, I mean, this can sound silly because you look at the pitches and they're showing sort of highlights of other games so far, and you look and you think, well, yeah, those pitches are perfect. They're perfect for football, and there's just something. Part of me just misses. Yeah, the games on a mud heap where the ball gets stuck up, and Joe Corrigan having to go out and tell the ref where the penalty spot is, which again, that was the baseball ground. I'm pretty sure. I may be wrong. I thought that was at Derby, where a penalty was given and the referee put the ball on the patch of mud where he thought the spot was. Joe Corrigan thought differently. and paced out 10 yards, and the referee booked him for it. And they ended up calling, they got the groundsman with a tape measure. And it was exactly where Corrigan had said it was. Tape measure, pot of paint the spot.
Of course, Joe Corrigan, talking about rubbishy pitches and Manchester teams, came famously unstuck against West Ham in not dissimilar conditions. That would have been just before that, I suppose. Was it Ticker who put the ball back over his head?
Yeah. Ronnie Boyce just It was funny because when you look at Corrigan, he just as he jogs back, because he's taken the drop kick from the way outside the right hand side of his penalty area, which is always a bit dangerous, isn't it? And he's kicked it long, and Ticker's just sort of volleyed it straight back, just as Corrigan's jogging back to the sort of middle of the goal, just watches it go in.
And of course, completing the circle, Ticker, we go back to 64, and it was Boyce who scored 2 of the 3 goals. Jeff Hurst getting the other one on that famous win in the mud at Hillsborough against Manchester United. The Red Devils, massive favourites that day to proceed to the final against Preston, but the Hammers winning 3-2 on that occasion. Spin forward a few years, well, quite a few years actually, 1986 in fact. And Pinky, another famous West Ham win in the FA Cup up at Old Trafford. Were you there that day by perchance?
No.
Okay.
I just thought I'd introduce myself this evening by killing that one stone dead. Yeah.
And there you go, and you have indeed of course, famous West Ham win though. I mean, you weren't there, but you'll know all about it. Jeff Pike scoring one of the 2 goals, and one of the greatest headers a West Ham players ever scored, of course.
If you say so. So I'm completely distracted here. I'm trying to get up to speed with tonight's team or what have you. So come back to me in a minute if you don't mind.
I'll come back to you in a minute, because a man who does know his 80s West Ham and off the back of his hand is Rio, of course. And Rio, you'll remember that game very well. I mean, the only time I think I've ever seen a header as good as that from a West Ham player, I think it was also against Manchester United. And it was Steve Lomas in a game, I think we lost 5-3 at home. Absolute bullet header at the Boleyn. But Jeff Pike that day, and that was a famous win, wasn't it, in 86? Of course, our great league run that year as well.
Yeah, it's one of the very few games on live television during that period as well, wasn't it? That header. I mean, I was very critical of Jeff Pike for quite a while. That side, he didn't get many games that season.
Yeah. But
I always remember him coming in, and that header, as you say, absolute rocket. It must have been about 20, 25 yards.
Yeah.
And I don't think I saw him score a better goal than that. It was absolutely marvellous.
Was it from a corner?
Yeah, corner. Well, I'd say 25 yards is a slight exaggeration, but it was on the edge of the box.
Yeah.
So 18 yards max, shall we say? But it was still a hell of a header.
Yeah, it certainly was, and of course, who did we get knocked out? Was it Sheffield Wednesday in the quarterfinals that year? We got knocked out by.
Yeah, Cole shot 2 goals for them. I think it was on a replay, wasn't it?
Yes.
We drew 0-0 at home and lost 2-0 up there, or 2-1 up there.
I've got vague memories of watching it on Sports Tonight. I think it was on a Wednesday night. So yeah, it would almost certainly have been a replay. But that win up at Manchester United, the second, of course, of one of many famous FA Cup games against Man United. Then, of course, the big one, Gnome. 2001, was it not? 9,000 happy Hammers made the journey to Old Trafford, and the man stepped forward, Paolo Di Canio against Taxi for Barthez, the famous incident. That's the one. Were you there that day? Did you make the journey?
Yes, I was. Yeah. It was just so funny. I mean, like we went completely ape at that point, and but I was watching the replay on the can't remember, it came out on YouTube. I think I might have been looking at it or something. Just last night, and it doesn't get any less funny. You still can't help laughing at Barthez. It's like, if you're going to try and psych someone out, you try and psych someone out who's a sort of normal, rational, sensible person. The one person who isn't going to be psyched out by mind games of you sticking your arm up is a nutter. and I think it's fair to say that Paolo well and truly sat into that category.
Have you ever seen anything like that before or since on a football pitch? A goalkeeper try and psych a striker out in that fashion?
Well, not really. It's trying to psych someone out. I've obviously playing days and all that. I've always been the thing. If I haven't heard a whistle, I'm going to shoot, and then if it's disallowed afterwards. And I've seen goalkeepers. I've actually scored goals where goalkeepers have obviously palpably believed I was offside, and have stopped. So I put the ball away, and the referee said, "No, it's not them psyching me out. I think they genuinely believed I was offside." I mean, they stood a fair chance of being right, to be honest. But so not as anything as blatantly obvious as that. I mean, I just said you probably wouldn't do it to someone sensible, but it was so stupid that you'd have had to be pretty dim to fall for it, really.
Yeah. It was bizarre. I mean, I was one of those fortunate enough to be there that day and started off behind the goal. And I remember watching it and thinking, what is he doing? You never do that, even in those circumstances. Any professional player, knows that you play to the whistle and carry on. And but incredible experience, of course, that day. I mean, I remember that goal going in, and the row we started in was about 9 rows further back than the row we ended up in when the celebrations had completed about 3 minutes later. It was just mental, is the only way I can describe it in the way end that afternoon. But I mean, Rio, it can't be understated just how much West Ham were underdogs that day. That was Manchester United in their pomp, wasn't it? They were absolutely playing at their peak with that fantastic side with the class of '92 and whatnot. And West Ham with a lonely inning. Oh yeah, there you go. I still can't believe he's put his hand up, still to this day. But you wouldn't say that West Ham going to Old Trafford tonight, Rio, are probably quite as big as underdogs as that day. But still, you'd expect the home team to be favourites.
Yeah, definitely. We're not as much underdogs as we were that particular day. I mean, that day we had lone players in, we had bit part players who just come in. We were struggling all season.
Yeah.
And as you say, Man United were in their pomp. Man United probably the best league side we've seen in the Premier League since Liverpool's dominance in the late 70s, early 80s.
Definitely.
And it was an absolute turn up and half. And it's still one of my favourite ever away days. Tonight, we're in 5th place, 6th place in the league. We shouldn't really be these big underdogs as I feel we are.
Yeah.
I just think that because we're lacking numbers, because we've got a tired squad, Man United's form. Right, let's not include Saturday's rather humorous 3-3 draw. But apart from that, they've been in pretty good form the last few weeks. So we're definitely not. We're definitely the underdogs tonight.
Yeah.
But not as much as we would have been back in 2003. I just fear that we're running out of steam, and they've got so many pacey options up front. I think they could exploit us big time tonight. But it's the cup; you just never know, do you? But no one gives us a chance that day when Di Canio up. And one thing that I remember mostly about that game isn't just the goal; it's the way we defended, because everything was—it's like backs to the wall. It was like at times an absolute onslaught, and Utd, who played a handful of games for us, had the match of his life. He stopped absolutely everything that came his way, and it was amazing. And we just never ended up signing him. It was a really weird one. But
yeah, it's kind of funny that, Rio, isn't it? Because I've never known a player to build a reputation such as Hannu Tiernan did on the back of one football match, because he was astonishing there. But to be fair, I mean, I was looking at the KUMB match reports earlier this week doing a piece for the site, and I think everybody scored a 9 out of 10 in the match rating, so everyone was brilliant. But Tiernan, for years afterwards, people were saying, "Oh, we should have signed that Tiernan. He was magnificent that day." Didn't he also play against Tottenham? I think in the next round, was it Tottenham we played after that?
We lost to Tottenham, didn't we? I think it was at home, wasn't it? We lost 2-1.
Yeah, and he played,
but
he never kind of reached that level. But it was just one of those games where everything went right for West Ham. Everyone was on form, weren't they? It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was absolute joy to watch. A massively long day for some of us. I think I left about 4 o'clock in the morning. Very nearly missed the coach up there.
Yeah,
because I overslept. And when I got into the grounds, I discovered that my seat was in the very back row.
Ow.
So that was kind of a bit of a way up. That was. I passed the corpses of Sherpa Tenzing and Chris Bonnet and Edmund Hillary on the way up there. And I think if I'd have almost sunk to my knees, like when we scored the goal, and if I'd have jumped up, I think I would have gone down not just 9 rows or so. I think I would have broken a few limbs, because there would have been no stopping me going from that top.
Yeah, it was a mad day. I for what it's worth, I experienced a similar thing a few years later for the FA Cup final at the Millennium Stadium. I had the very back row, and I can distinctly remember really struggling to get. I was with my poor old mum at the time, who sadly is no longer with us, but we were struggling to get up the steps while they were playing a bye with me, and I can still remember looking around and seeing her try to sing along and gasping for breath 1 minute and trying to sing in the next breath. But anyway, another occasion on which we were so close to knocking them out, Pinky. We haven't got to go back that far, actually. 2016 was the year. A certain Dimitri Payet scored one of the greatest free kicks you'll ever see by a West Ham player, and then they cheated to earn a replay.
Yeah, part of the course. I mean, the thing about the Payet free kick, we all knew he was going to score. That's the point. We all knew. Yeah. And you're thinking, that's when you know you've got a special player.
Yeah.
That, puts the ball down. It must have been, 30 yards, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're thinking, do you know what? You're good if you can bury that from there. And, fabulous day that day. I mean, funny enough, the thing I remember, we had Ray Stewart stood just along from us that day. He was in with the support. And, you think, such is the fleeting nature of fame. He's just stood there as an ordinary supporter. Barely anyone recognised him. And you're thinking, if a bona fide club legend is standing there and totally, just not getting disturbed by the supporters, you're thinking, crikey, enjoy your fame while it lasts, boys. But yeah, good for us that day. But
yeah,
I just want to get on to tonight here, because there's some unbelievably disrespectful comments on Red Cafe here. I'm just looking at tonight.
Yeah.
That I just think, do you know what? Let's give this lot a game tonight, because the arrogance of Manchester United supporters for a team that in recent seasons haven't exactly been stuffing their trophy cabinet with too much. So tonight, more than any game this season, I want a win here tonight. We're not at full strength, but just to shut up some of these Man United supporters who are making some pretty disparaging comments about West Ham United and our players. I mean, you're thinking, yeah, well done. You were good, 10, 15 years ago, but you're not anymore. And even Van der Beek's getting a game for Man United tonight. That's how desperate they are. So for me, we've got a puncher's chance here this evening.
Yeah.
Not a great chance, but we've got a puncher's chance. And looking at that, Soufal, Dawson, Ogbon and Cresswell across the back, probably about the best we've got at the minute.
Yeah.
People are doubting Noble coming into the side. But do you know what? Who would begrudge him one last final, big day at a big ground at Old Trafford? Good for him. And hopefully he'll see us over the line tonight. And who knows, he might finish up at an even bigger stadium in 2 or 3 months' time. So tough game, but I think we've got a chance here tonight.
Okay, good stuff. Well, we're just about to kick off. We're about a minute or so away from kick-off. So let's very quickly go around the team for predictions. Gnome, first of all, what do you reckon?
1-0 was.
In normal time?
Yeah. Why not?
Good stuff. Good stuff. Rio, what are you thinking?
Unfortunately, I'm going to go for a 3-0 defeat.
Okay. Pinky, what about yourself?
0-0 in normal time.
Yep.
Goes to penalties tonight.
Yep.
Noble to bag the winner.
Ooh.
You missed the discussion earlier on, Pinky. When I mentioned the prospect of penalties, the comment was, what are they?
Nah, tonight's the night. Yeah, we'll get a hat full of them. Six of them tonight, and we'll need all 6 to see off Man United. But, you know, Noble taking the decisive one. But we're underway here. So do you want a time check, or are we all on terrestrial?
I'm on 21-22 seconds.
Yeah,
Likewise.
Yarmolenko tries to, but fails to keep the ball in.
Yeah, we are, for a change, all simultaneous, all watching the BBC stream. I notice it's snowing up there in Manchester, which is interesting. So I just wonder whether that will perhaps affect things slightly. But yes, as Pinky said, we are underway here at Old Trafford. Manchester United versus West Ham United, lock horns. The two Uniteds locking horns once again in the FA Cup. And the Hammers looking to emulate 1964 or 1986 or 2001 even, and record another spectacularly famous win against the Red Devils. Cockney Hammer, Steve Spraggs, you did ask briefly while nothing's happening what shirt I was wearing today. So I should point out that I'm wearing the mighty Thundersley Rovers shirt, which is, of course, sponsored by this mob, whoever they are. I can't say I've ever heard of them, but that's where the shirt is coming today. No, West Ham have a free kick. Mark Noble looming over it.
Yeah, Noble's looming over it. It's about 35 yards out, slightly right of centre. Noble plays the ball into the box, and I think that's given us a corner. Matic has claimed he didn't get a touch on it, but difficult to tell from there. But he did seem to signal a corner, but maybe no, it's been given as a goal kick. He did. So I think there's a change of mind there, but Man United bring the ball away. A little bit sort of overhit as a free kick, really. I think it went far too deep. We it might have been one for Cresswell to think about, perhaps.
Manchester United looking to build on the right-hand side here. The first pressure West Ham have been put under in the game so far as the ball's floated in, and it's dealt with quite simply by Soufal. And the Hammers look to break again. Pinky, looking at that Man United side tonight, no Bruno Fernandes, of course, which is a relief for all of us, and I suppose all West Ham United supporters, bearing in mind the difference he made in the league game a few weeks ago. But, they're still absolutely blessed with talent there, aren't they, in that side tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's always one of the joys listening to any Man United manager grumbling about either an injury list or a fixture pile up or whatever it may be. I mean, dear Lord, let's not kid ourselves. Solskjaer is a rookie manager and he's managing it, what their supporters might claim to be the biggest or one of the biggest clubs in the world. Let's not forget, he's the guy that paid £80 million for Harry Maguire. So is he a judge of a player? But in terms of what they've got there tonight, the fact that they can leave Fernandes on the bench and Cavani on the bench, who I think is probably the deadliest striker in the league at the minute, as an out-and-out, centre forward. They've got plenty they can pull on if they feel they need them at any stage. They're on the attack here now, and Oggy just tidies it up. And I think
goal kick there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice challenge in there from Declan Rice, Pinky. We just saw him put 4-0, lost the ball subsequently, but good stuff from Rice.
Yeah, and interesting tonight if Solskjaer was looking for players that he might want to splurge his next £100 million or so. on, Rice is clearly going to be on that list, because I think at what he does, he's better than anyone Manchester United have. And I think he would strengthen their team. Whether or not they could afford him is another matter. But I actually don't think he'd probably want to go to Old Trafford for some strange reason. So he's probably the one in our team that you could say is certain to be on their shopping list. But why not Thomas Souček as well? You know, he's absolutely taken the Premier League by storm this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got some good players out there ourselves. You know, so that's what I'm saying. This ain't going to be a team of easy beats against the Harlem Globetrotters tonight. This should be a good game.
Yeah, very much so. Tactically, Gnome, just 5 minutes into the game, looks like Noble's playing fairly deep and Souček playing sort of in the, in the, I suppose you'd call it the old number 10 role in a sense.
Yes, he's playing further advanced than the usual role of him and Declan next to each other. He's moved forward for that. So much as I think when Noble was selected, if that was going to happen, that was always going to be the case.
Yeah.
And as Manchester United just run the ball out for a throw in on our right hand side. So yeah, it's an interesting thought there, though. I guess if we get to the stage where Noble comes off the pitch at any stage, then we've got that option to put Souček in alongside Declan again, depending on who we bring on. So, but yeah, it just makes sense, I think, that.
Yeah, very much so. Rio, looking at the bench, not a lot of attacking options there for Davy Moyes. Lanzini, Benrahma, and of course Odubiko, who is seems to be on the bench pretty much every game, but he's yet to get us any minutes for the first team. What do you think David Moyes is thinking is here? Do you think it's just a question of we're going to put the most fit 11 out for the game and then see what happens, or do you think there's sort of a plan there maybe to introduce Benrahma with a bit of pace later on in the game for Noble, or even maybe give Odubiko a few minutes against his old club, of course?
I just think it's about containing and doing the best we can with the starting 11.
Yeah.
As you say, there's really not a lot of options in an attacking sense. But, I'm really hoping that Gnome's prediction comes fruition. Because if we're 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go, we've got 3 centre-halves we can bring on and park the bus.
Yeah.
It's just made for it, Apart from that, we're really struggling for options.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, Rio. Sorry, go on.
I was just saying, you can look at the rest of it. Lanzini has only really produced 2 bit part performances all season. So we're relying on the players out there not to run out of steam, which is a massive ask. It's just really not looking hopeful. It's just like, I think it's just like, as I said, keep it tight. Let's see where we are about 60, 70 minutes in. Then soon we can jiggle around a bit.
God, chuffing Nora, Rio. What do you do to cheer yourself up? Go to cemeteries or something. I mean, the way you're talking, like, we're beaten 8-0 before we start. I'm glad you're not doing the captain's team talk tonight. Yeah. Heavens above.
On the bright side, of course, things can only get better that way, can't they? It can't get any worse. So
well, I'm just thinking, if we check Rio's T-shirt, what is it? A band called Doom and Gloom?
Not tonight, no.
Huh?
That's when we play the next game. Sheffield United. When I got my Yorkshire phase and go really, really miserable.
Rio, look, I mean, there's an opportunity to show us now. Who are we wearing tonight?
Volbeat. Danish bands. Today should have been V in Prof Marginal's A to Z music thread, but he slacked the last couple of days, so I preempted him and he's let me down. But as a Danish band, it's in honour of our Danish, our great Danish players, of which Mark Reaper is the only one who really stands out. The rest have been absolute garbage. Jacobson and all that, was he? So
that's it. On loan from Everton, was it? He came in from Jacobson.
Yeah. From he's absolutely desperate for right backs.
Yes. Around the time we had
a great game, though, Rio. That's very good. That's right up there with, Graham's bouncing checks or whatever he came out with the other week. Yeah.
Hey, that was a classic. That was. Come on.
Yeah.
For those, of course, that are,
The burger stall at the behind the old South Bank there, around that, as I still call it, had was one of their burgers with bacon on it. It was called the Great Day in honour of Reaper, wasn't it?
is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
For those who aren't aware, what
was basically the complete output of an abattoir for a week in a bun, I think. Man United now in the box, looking dangerous, but that's some great defending. Couple of little sort of feigns to shoot or little step over type things. Nobody was fooled, and the foot got in. It's now sort of outside the box again. Man United sort of keeping the ball well, but I think that was the first time that they'd worked the ball into the box with any major sort of intent there. But as I say, we just remained resolute. So it's settled down into a pattern, and that we've seen quite a lot where they're playing along across the pitch quite a lot, and we're sort of making it difficult for them to find a way between the lines.
I've just seen the ball coming to the box, well dealt with by Angelo Ogbonna. West Ham looking to win the second ball. Dawson, I think it was, they're doing particularly well. Is it Dawson or it might be Souček, actually? Can't tell with these bins. But anyway, Manchester United in possession again. 10 minutes, 11 minutes almost gone now in this fifth round FA Cup tie. So do you want some stats, chaps? Really pointless, actually. Shots, Manchester United none, West Ham none. Corners, Manchester United none, West Ham none. Man U possession 57%. We're just seeing and now there's a slight injury concern there, Pinky, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, Fabianski had to come out and make a quick save, but who's this we've got down? Bonner, yeah. But Manchester United were in there, and just see the replay again here now. Worked the ball well on the left, yeah, and yeah, Bonner's gone in, made the challenge, and he needed to get the block. And that's a terrific block, but he's then collided with Fabianski.
And he's also got caught by Martial on the follow through, accidentally.
Yeah.
But
three players have come together there, and it's probably be a bit painful, but he'll get up. He'll be all right. He's a centre back. I mean, that ain't going to hurt him.
I think the long shot of that is Manchester United have a corner anyway. We'll await to see that taken. Just very quickly, going back to what Rio was saying a few moments ago, for those who aren't aware, the KUMB.com forum thread in question is in the music, film and TV forum, where everyone's going through bands in alphabetical order. And as Rio says, we should be up to V, but the thread starter has gone missing for the last couple of days. So we're waiting on that. But is still receiving treatment, but no, he doesn't look very happy, does he, right now?
That looks painful, doesn't it? You rarely see him in show any sort of signs of pain, and just as the physio there's put his hands on, he's really grimaced in pain. So this isn't looking too clever at the moment.
No, it's not. I mean, they're spending this much time on him. Yeah, would you risk him carrying on?
Well, that's not
in fact,
good.
the stretchers are being wheeled on now, so carried on.
There doesn't seem to be any urgency in terms of treatment being dished out. And, as you say, as Gnome said, we've got the stretcher being carried onto the pitch now, which would indicate, Rio, that that's the end of Angelo Ogbonna's night, one would think.
Yeah, and that's a bitter blow. He's been our best defender for the best part of 2 years. And he's really led by example. He's been absolutely fantastic. To lose him will be an absolute disaster, not just for tonight, but the forthcoming fixtures. The only real highlight you can bring from it is that we've got a wealth of options on the bench.
Yeah.
Balbuena, Alves, Diop. But he's just hobbling around the back of the goal now.
He's not
Doesn't
needed
look good at all.
which is, I guess, partly good news, because if it was anything really terrible, that they wouldn't want him walking on it. So, but it,
Diop.
that we won't see him for the rest of the game. I think Yeah, corner's been taken, by the way, as he's off the pitch behind the goal, and so without the 10 men for the next minute or two, nothing comes of the corner. The ball's played all the way back to Henderson. So yeah, it's been disappointing, and it falls upon me to point out that if Ogbonna is coming off, and it looks very likely, why haven't we got a centre half with his kit on ready to come on, and why are we playing with 10 men at the moment?
Yeah, I just wonder whether they're giving him the maximum opportunity to see whether or not, he can.
Well,
He can
Bowen's on the right hand side now, cuts inside, plays a long ball over to the back of the box where there's Cresswell, who puts the ball in first time, and there's a good turn there from Yarmolenko, but the shot gets blocked. Man United come away with it, but a bad little move there from West Ham. And
I've just got this image of activity in and around our bench, of Diop sitting there with his arms folded, his bottom lip sticking out in a real huff, muttering to David Moyes, "You haven't picked me for the last 6 months, and now you want me to play when it's really cold. Well, I'm not going to."
Shot from Man United on the right hand side of the box there, but again we got a block in. So
excellent by Rice there.
Yeah,
really
they look like that's why they're quite good in the box. Man United, they are very good at making room in a tight box, which sounds a lot ruder than I meant it to. Yeah, move on to someone else, and the change is now being made.
It's a family show.
I say it's always Gnome lowering the tone, isn't it? Every week. It's a great block though, Rio from Cresswell. All joking aside, really important, that one.
Yeah, very good block indeed. And as Pinky said, the ball ran out to Declan, who made an absolutely imperious break forward. But yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of this now. Last ditch blocks. We're going to be really, really strong at the back now. We're losing a leader, so we need the rest of them to step up, get their foot in, and keep Man United at bay, because they're going to throw everything at us.
Yeah,
it's Diop that's come on, by the way. Sorry, we should have said that. We were too busy having a go at me for accidentally coming out with a Coleman ball moment. But yeah, Diop has come on for Ogbonna, who clearly, as the play was going on, you could see him walking around the side of the pitch, and he clearly wasn't looking like coming back on any day. So let's hope it's not that serious, and that it'll be okay going forward. But it was a horrible clash. I mean, no blame for portion to Marshall. He did go in with his studs sort of. Well, it was just a follow through from the shot that he had. Nothing deliberate about it at all. Come on,
Gnome. Yeah, you look at that. I mean, it's one of those. It sort of called him high, didn't it, on the ankle? Yeah. One of those.
It didn't help that they had Marshall coming in from one side and Fabianski the other. Probably may have just accentuated things, but he was walking a little bit better on the side of the pitch just a second ago. They showed him, but yeah, I mean, on the whole, I'd rather have him fit and available for the weekend if there's any doubts about it. So
yeah, if anything, he looks a little perturbed. I felt that he'd been taken off. You've got to make a decision, I guess. If you're the manager in those situations, that's what David Moyes did. I didn't give my prediction for the game, so I'll throw it in quickly now, as it's still 0-0. I've got us down for a 2-1 defeat tonight, for what it's worth. But I just wanted to say before the start, all I really want to see tonight is David Moyes' team have a go at Manchester United, because we've seen it quite frequently against some of the bigger teams where we've sort of sat back and not really. Had a go at them, especially in these one-off games. I mean, I seem to recall us going to Arsenal in Moyes' first spell for a Carabao Cup quarter-final. We didn't even have a shot on target. I think we lost 1-0 in the end. And, I wouldn't say Arsenal were there for the taking, but, you were kind of left with the view that, there was a really spurned opportunity. So as long as we have a go tonight, I think I'll be happy, as no Man U break on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Some good work there from Soufal, though. Tellers was shuffling up and down the line there, trying to sort of work the angle for a cross. And I think Sufal gave him his best look. I've dealt with Grealish. You think you're going to fool me, look, but it's, as I say, I mean, you're going to come up with a stat, no doubt, about possession and stuff like that, and it is pretty much Man United seeing a hell of a lot of the ball, but as we said time and time again, doing very little in it. It's going across from side to side, and we're really not giving them the opportunity to get between the lines. Just to say that they do. I think that's is out there. It's
bit of space.
Shot from the edge of the box. Well, it's. I don't know if there's a rose edge behind that goal, but it was aiming for it. Again, nothing to worry about. I mean, this is quite good because you get a situation where they've got a lot of pressure, and mentally the pressure on the attacking team to actually do something, get a cross in or get a shot in, builds the more passes, the more times it goes from left wing to right wing and back again. And you end up with something like that happens where somebody just gets fed up with it all and has to dig from outside the box. Sure that was actually, it was
Matic, I think. No,
Matic, was it? Yeah, 31 Matic. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that all day. As Yarmolenko tried to keep the ball in, was never going to too difficult one to keep in. Really, he wasn't going to do well with that. And we start again with Man United on the halfway line.
Well, there's your possession stat you were asking for there. The BBC there have saved me the bother. Look, 67% Man U, 33 to West Ham so
I'm
far.
surprised it's that low, to be honest. Yeah. But,
apparently, we've had a shot according to the BBC stats, but
yeah, the one that was Cresswell played it into Yarmolenko and he turned and got the shot away, but it was blocked. So I'm guessing they're counting that.
Yeah. Man U looking to build on the left-hand side again as the ball's played out wide, looking to stretch West Ham's defence. But the Hammers holding firm again as it's played back into the middle, and another one of those long-range efforts that, Pinky, as Gnome said, we'll take those all day, surely, shooting from 25, 28 yards.
Only Payet scores from there at Old Trafford.
Yeah. Was it that end? Was it that end, or was it?
Yeah,
I think
that end.
Yeah.
And I mean, just picking up on your point there about, hopefully we have a real go at them. I think in terms of lineup this evening, in terms of the starting lineup, you might argue Ben Rama in and maybe Noble out in terms of making it a bit more positive. But I think when you consider what happened against Fulham the other night, you can't really blame the manager for wanting to bolster the midfield a little bit and sacrifice a touch of creativity for a little bit more solidity. So I think his plan here tonight will be to keep it tight for 70, 75 minutes, still be in the tie, still be, hopefully at 0-0 or 1-1, something like that. And then maybe the last 10 or 15 minutes, roll the dice and go and try and get a win. I don't think that's bad. And for what it's worth, I think Solskjaer is going to do much the same. I think we'll see Fernandes introduced in the second half for Man United, just to give them a little bit more je ne sais quoi. At the minute, ball just put in fairly aimlessly there. Well taken by Fabianski. So, we're 22, 23 minutes in, thus far, Pointer bothered, do we look getting battered? Not really. Man U have had the share of possession, but so what?
The stats not lying, of course. Neither side yet to produce a shot on target tonight, and we're a quarter of the way through the game. So I guess, Rio, that's really going to suit West Ham, isn't it, so far? But you would like to see us get our foot on the ball. 2 or 3 times we've just seen in the last 3 or 4 minutes, we've given the ball away really casually and unnecessarily, and we're kind of just inviting pressure on ourselves a little bit right now.
Yeah, there's absolutely no outlet up front at the moment. Every time the ball goes anywhere near towards Man United's half, it's just coming straight back at us. And as well as we've defended so far, we cannot defend like this for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
it's just coming and coming and coming. At the moment, it's only a matter of time before we break, to be honest. I know it sounds negative. I'm sorry, Pinky. I'm doing it again. But I just can't see us withstand this pressure for much longer. I haven't had a drink since January the 1st, and it's showing now. I'm cracking under the pressure here. I need my optimism back.
Well, gentlemen, dare I say it, but these are almost exactly the same conversations I think I was having on that terrace behind the goal almost exactly 20 years ago to the day when we were battered for pretty much 90 minutes. And then in the 76th minute, Paolo Di Canio strode forward and, put the winning goal in the back of the net.
That's what we need tonight, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got no problem getting battered for 85 minutes as long as we hold firm. And if we can sneak a goal in the 93rd minute of the flukiest, most outrageous, you know, couldn't do it again in a million years, it would make it even better. Yeah, you know, I don't want a 5-0 West Ham United win tonight. I want a streaky, sneaky, smash and grab in the 93rd minute where every Man United supporter is bitching and carping and whinging about it for the next decade. That's the kind of win I want to see tonight. Yeah,
me too, because it'll make for a fantastic opposition view tomorrow morning, of course, if that happens. Rio, we before I come to Rio, we're going to have a quick look at the KUMB.com forum because we haven't had a look over there yet to see what people are thinking or predicting tonight. But a few hellos to some of you guys on the live chat before we do. To Richard, to Dan Hobo, Seamus Polaroid, Steve Spraggs, Man U Herbert, even you're welcome. We don't mind fans of the opposition on here as long as you behave yourself. We'd come back to that in a minute because no, Man U have a corner they've just taken.
Yeah. Taken short, then played back out to the edge of the box. It's now played to the very edge of the box. It's now back on the left wing, but so that's a bit of a waste of a corner, but they're still probing away, and I think they've earned another one. I'd expect this one to come into the box this time. That's Souček has put the block on that low cross that came in there. That just seemed it seemed like Manchester United's game plan is to play the ball from one wing to the other, keep doing that. And the way they took that corner just seemed they wanted to keep doing that. Second corner, out swinger. It got the end of that, but it's come off the base of the post. It just bobbled and bobbled, and Fabianski's out despairing dive. But it's still not cleared yet as Greenwood gets across him, but it's now cleared up to Yarmolenko, who sort of holds it up, and we come away with the ball. So that's an interesting ball back into defence. That was, I'm not quite sure Dawson wanted that one played to him. Let's have a look at this now.
That's a great
save. It looked like it about the post. That's a fine save from Fabianski. Apologies to the man. I didn't spot that. It just looked like it had bounced agonisingly towards the thing. So, well played Fabianski. Manchester United now beginning. It's into the box. It's pulled back, and it's beginning to come, isn't it? It's another shot. That's Van der Beek. Ball's pulled back to him, and it's played off. I think that's Cresswell, isn't it?
Yes, certainly. Looks like.
How on earth did Fabianski get across that far? That save looks. It's flicked off Dawson, which makes the save even more remarkable. Well played, sir, because it's taken a very, very big change in direction for that one. So, top man.
Rio, one of the saves of the season so far, I'd say. That one from Fabian, I think it caught us all out. I thought it was just a straight header that hit the post, but I didn't see the deflection. I didn't even see the save. But what a save from Fabianski! That is incredible.
Absolutely outstanding. Reminiscent of his first season here, where he could do absolutely no wrong. That was absolutely world class, that save. And where we're under the cost so much, he's really got to have a game of his life, and that was a great sign. Great sign to start with.
Yeah, very much so. West Ham finally easing a little bit of pressure by getting the ball into Manchester United's half, although it's come to nothing. But Manchester United giving the ball away cheaply, and unfortunately, Souček unable to capitalise on that bit of sloppy play by the Manchester United defence there. A few more hellos to Mark, to Steve Law. to Richard, to Dan and Hobo. I didn't think I said hello to earlier, but welcome everybody. Good to have you all with us on the stream. Let us know what you think of the game as it's going on. A little bit of a lull in play at the moment, so we'll take a quick look at the KUMB.forum. Rio, what's the atmosphere like? Is everyone sort of a little bit sceptical tonight, or is there a bit of positivity and optimism in the air?
It went from being sceptical to blind optimism, and now the scepticism and misery's crept back. I really should be on there myself because I'm feeling as negative as well. Yeah, a few comments on Brian 4114. I hate when Moyes play no ball like this. He's so deep. Every time we get the ball, he somehow drops even further back towards the defence. He should be further up the pitch and allow Souček to be the box-to-box midfielder he is. Mr. Subrike, we look terrified with Ogbonna. God knows how we're going to look without him. Jastons, we are too deep. Yes, Martial and Rashford are fast, but we're just inviting pressure on. Doesn't help that we have no striker and keep giving the ball away. Crouching Hammer has put, looks like we are setting up in a very cautious manner. Bowen and Fornells are supporting the fullbacks. The three midfielders sitting in front of the centre-backs. Yarmolenko isolated about 30 yards up on his own. And regarding the foul, the incident with Martial and Ogbonna, Bo Limboy put, that was accidental from Martial. Following Saturday, surely he should be sent off. And when the whirlwind has put, where's Mike Dean when you need him? So there's anxiety creeping in by the minute over there.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that going forward. Gnome, Manchester United have a throw-in in a very advanced position.
Yeah, about 10 yards up from the corner flag, but they've given it away. But so have we. We've got this thing where the midfield are dropping deeper and deeper. So it's more like having a sort of almost like having a back nine at times, which. While they play it across, I'd like to see us trying to sort of win it a bit higher up the pitch, rather than getting sort of suckered into going deeper and deeper. As cross comes in, but again, it's far too long for anybody. Martial, let's put that in, and Fabianski gathers deep in his own box. There was a good bit of defensive work from Diop. I noticed Manchester United trying to play a longer ball, a couple of longer balls there, one down the right hand side. I think it was one Bissaka trying to find, I think it was Martial, but Diop shepherded it out and marvellously well. So it was a good bit of play from Diop. So
it was.
He could regain some of his more promising form from the olden days.
Do you know, I've got a feeling he's going to have a stormer here tonight. The longer this game goes on, I'm just seeing 2001 all over again. So it's probably going to end up 5-0 in that case. But we shall remain positive anyway and hope. But Pinky, we're not playing. We're conceding possession. We're doing exactly what I said I don't want West Ham to do tonight, and that's sit really deep and sink deeper and deeper. We're not. Saying we're beginning to move the ball around now, but we're not keeping the ball. We're not moving it about nicely. There's no movement from Yarmolenko running into the channels or anything like that. It's all very, very fraught and urgent at the moment. Not good.
Heavens above. We're playing Manchester United away at Old Trafford. Can we just have a reality check just for a moment?
Oh, hang on. That doesn't mean we can't control a football and get out, pass, put a string of passes together. Surely. I get what you're saying. It's a good point. But anyway, it's a good chance. Bowen's through.
First touch just took him too near the player. Some good one-touch football there, knocking it on. Nearly played Bowen in, but his first touch just took it a little bit too near the Man United defender who was able to clear it. But that looks a little bit promising.
Yeah, much better there, Pinky. You can completely admonish me now for what I was just saying.
Yeah, I mean, the point I frequently make is, we sometimes forget there are two teams on the pitch, and in particular, if you look at this tonight, this is probably the only trophy that Manchester United feel they have a genuine chance of winning this season. They're not going to win the league, you know, and Solskjaer, like every other manager, but in particular Manchester United managers, they need trophies in the cabinet to hang on to their job. And, you know, win an FA Cup this season, Solskjaer might get the gig next season. If he doesn't win a trophy this season, they might find a way of parting company with him. So for him, this is a very serious game tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm not too disappointed with what I'm seeing here tonight. You know, you're going to face wave after wave of attack at Old Trafford because that's what they do. You know, that's in their DNA. But for my money, defending is just as much a valid part of the game as attacking is.
Mm-hmm.
And thus far, we've been pretty good. You know, we've clung on a bit in one or two occasions, but I don't feel we're getting stuffed here. And all we've got to do, as we're now doing,
This is good
break
move.
forward, Bowen tearing down the right flank. We've got Yarmo in the middle. Fornall's calling it from on the far stick. Get the ball in. Go on. Now he's fluffed his lines there. Had to be an early ball in. And we've won a throw in on the far side.
Sorry, Pink. As you said, that's really where you expect, you know, West Ham to profit from, isn't it, tonight, on the break like that, and, you know, hit them hard and hit them quick.
And absolutely. The other thing I'd say is, well, we've been a bit unfortunate tonight. Obviously, Antonio being out, you know, he'd have relished playing against you know, Maguire and Lindelof tonight.
Yeah.
You know, if you talk to the Man United supporters and say, where are we really weak as a team at the minute? They're all calling out their centre backs all evening. So if we'd had an Antonio, that gives Moyes more options. The plain fact is, we don't have him tonight. We've got a makeshift Yarmolenko, up top. So, you know, I file this one under what do we expect? You know, we're in bare bones territory here, but we are competing. You know, it's good cup football. You know, we've got a corner here now. Stick this in, and suddenly the pressure is all on Man United. So I'm quite happy.
Okay, good stuff. Gnome, take us through the corner, if you will.
Yeah, Bowen on the right-hand side to take it, and he's fooled everyone because the ball's moved on the quadrant. So as you were, two hands up for the signal. Corner's taken. Rice flicks it on at the near post, and Diop was coming at the far post and is now clutching his. It's basically there's two players with head injuries there, so obviously the game stopped immediately, quite rightly so. But that was an interesting. Let's have a look.
He's nutted. If he did that at a nightclub, I'll tell you what, all the boys would pile in behind him and say, "Good nuts, son." Yeah, he's absolutely classic.
Header, and Diop was coming in behind and was second to the ball again. Complete accident. So I expect both of them to be sent off. And there will be some delay here because they've got to go through the protocols. We do have obviously the concussion subs available if necessary. And we've still got two ordinary subs as well.
So now I'm not having that as an accident. I'm having that as revenge for Martial putting Ogbonna out of the game. It is Martial.
Yeah, if you're going to do revenge, you don't
Wallop
hit the back of side the hard bit of somebody's head. That's not revenge. I mean, you might. I mean, you were stupid enough to do that sort of thing when I used to play with you. But if I was going for revenge, I'd use something like my legs to kick somebody because the brain's my second favourite organ. So
I don't think he was ever quick enough to get near him, Gnome. Let's be honest. I mean,
you just saw me at the end of my career.
Anyway, both players seem to be okay. That's the good news. We certainly don't want to lose another central defender because we would be.
That's all right. He's
down to our last two on the bench now.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to, he's jogging at the side of it. In fact, he's allowed straight back on. Both the players are jogging halfway line. It was Martial with the defensive header. little sort of handshake as in recognition of the fact that both realise the accidental nature of the collision, and they're both back on the pitch. So, and away we go.
Good stuff. Well, it's Manchester United 0, West Ham United 0. 39 minutes gone. Manchester United, as you might expect, pretty much in control of the football for much of the half. 72% of possession to 28, with 8 shots to West Ham's 1. But crucially, Manchester United only 1 shot on target out of those 8 so far. Very, very similar, Rio, in effect to what we faced at Fulham at the weekend. I think Fulham had, I think it was 20 shots, wasn't it? And only 2 on target in the whole game.
Yeah, we just won a free kick on the right-hand side. Bowen and Maguire in a bit of a tangle, or Yarmolenko.
Yarmolenko.
And now Declan's having a service down the left-hand side. If he pulls that back to Creswell, Cres can try and get a cross in, which he does. But fortunately, it goes above Yarmolenko straight in the hands of Henderson. But that's better. I think if we're going to score tonight, it's either going to be on a break or from a set piece. Sadly, with the set pieces, we've really not created anything around the box to try and to win any. So, but that's a bit more promising. We've actually had a bit of possession for the last 5 or 6 minutes and knocked it about and created a little forays into their area. But it's all been too rare, isn't it? Also, the forum is going a bit ballistic in against Moyes in terms of his negativity tonight. Not happy campers.
Well, yeah, it's nearly half time. I mean, I think I make Pinky right on this occasion. It's although we would like to, let's be honest, we'd all like to see a swashbuckling West Ham United that go at Manchester United and try and create as much as possible. But realistically speaking, that's not possible. We've just seen a long ball play through the middle, looking for. Well, I think I don't think there's any issue with that. But Rashford seemed a little bit unhappy with the challenge, but. The referee is not amused and play continues. But yeah, I mean, I think this is what was to be expected from this tie. And, I guess as Pinky's pointed out, the longer it goes on at 0-0, the West Ham have got a chance of nicking what could be, the decisive goal. Can
we all just get real here? We've got Yarmolenko playing as a striker. Yeah. Because there is nobody else. We've lost the club's best defender for the past 2 seasons, early doors in the game, and brought on a player who himself has just bashed his head quite severely. He is going to be a bit wobbly. We are in bare bones territory, and people think we're going to play swashbuckling football away at Old Trafford in a cup game. Stay in the competition. Yeah, stay in the game for the first 80 minutes, then try and mug them. That's the name of the game here tonight. And, I'd love to be watching us teaching Man United how to play football, but you're not going to do it when you've got 11 fit players and only just 11 fit players. You can't do it. That's Disneyland sort of stuff. It doesn't work that way.
There you go. Hope you're all listening on the KUMB.com forum. You're just being told off by Pinky there. We'll just see a real good chance for the ball coming from the right-hand side. It's fallen to Cresswell, who lays it back to Rice, but West Ham still building on the left, Gnome, and Pablo Fornell's looking to swing on in.
Yeah, Fornell's is being held up out on the touchline there a little bit, but looking for help now, and plays it inside. Noble goes back to Diop. But no, decent spell of possession here, and we're keeping hold of it, and we're keeping hold of it in opposition territory. Ball out on the right hand side with Bowen now. We're working it well down the line to Souček, who doesn't get anything on the ball, and it's a goal kick. Bit of a shame there. We're talking about the negativity. Maybe I'll stay for what I was going to say till half time. It's about being set up to play negatively. I'll save that. We're 43 minutes in. There will be a fair bit of stoppage time because we had both of Bonner and then the Diop Martial head injury as well. So fair way to go yet. Good turn from Van der Beek, and Cresswell comes off. So Van der Beek takes the throw in and gets shoved over in the act of taking the throw in. And there's a free kick to Manchester United, not for that, but there's I think saw who's gone down there, but it's just funny. Noble just body checks Van der Beek while he's taking the throw, which that's just brilliant. That's just, and the referee didn't spot or give that, and it was only when Cresswell came across the other Man United player. That's great stuff from Noble. That's brilliant. I enjoyed that.
You see, that's an experienced professional. He knows that one day in the history books, he wants to make sure that people know he played here tonight. And if he goes in the book with a yellow card, it's there forever. Yeah. You know,
I preferred the scoring a goal method myself, but
I've got to say, gentlemen, we're just seeing Manchester United break. This is dangerous. The ball played into the box, and a great block again by Soufal, who's been fantastic in his first half. I've got to say, gentlemen, I thought that Cresswell was also slightly fortuitous not to receive a booking there for what was a bit of a late challenge. So potentially, Pinky, we could have had 2 bookings in the space of about 5 seconds there.
Yeah, and you know, I'd certainly. I mean, if for no other reason, the Noble is clearly dyeing his hair. That should almost be a straight red. They showed a close-up on him early doors, and there is no doubt whatsoever he's got a tint in his syrup. Yeah, and I'm sorry, Mark, but come on, go grey like the rest of us. Yeah, you know, well, not quite all of us. Rio's obviously gone to extremes, but
I've got no grey. So what you're saying is go grey like you, Pinky?
Actually, mine goes white when it's rather than grey. So if I grow a beard, it tends to be white as well. So that's just the nature of it.
So
another aimless long punt forward by Man United, and you know, we're well in control there. I'm not buying all this negativity. You know, here we are at Old Trafford, a couple of minutes to half time. Where's the pressure? Who's feeling it? Is it David Moyes or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
I'm telling you, the longer this game goes on, it's 2001 all over again as Pablo Fornals picks up the ball and finds Rice out wide and pulls it back to Cresswell, who crosses in. Dangerous looking ball into the box, but, yet again, no blue shirt there and able to get on the end of it. But looking a bit dangerous there, Rio, weren't we, once again?
Yeah, we're building something quite nicely here. He's taking his time. We soaked up a lot of pressure, but we eked out a few little chances and a little forays in the last 5-10 minutes. We've done the hard work. Let's hope we can utilise and capitalise just before half time. Be a great time to score.
Pablo Fornals. What a chance. Should have just levered that, Gnome, shouldn't he? Put his foot through.
I'll come back to that in a second because Man United are going down. Greenwood's going down the line, but he's right at Declan Rice, and it's a throw-in. Yeah, it's some fine work by Yarmolenko out on the right down on the goal line to get the cross in. And Souček nodded it back to Fornals, who really just maybe it was at that awkward height where you're between sort of kicking and controlling it. But yeah, again, a good little bit of play. But the only worry I've got there is that when we do have those little spells where we have that chance to get an effort in on goal, they did break very quickly, and it's just a little thing to be wary of, I think. As the ball's played in, but it's cut out back to Fabianski, who plays it out wide. Still in play. I thought I might have gone for a throw, but it's still in play. We're just coming up to the last 4 seconds of stoppage time, 3 being added on, which in fact that's it now. It's half time. I thought that was a bit short. I thought we must have had more than 3 minutes between one of them and the other two.
That was plenty. That was plenty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. I think that's fair enough. But what I was going to say earlier on, about this people having a go at the team being set up negatively and whatever. I'm not agreeing with that, because what we got here is that Manchester United are playing a certain way, and we're frustrating them. This looks totally different to the way we played against Liverpool, where we're on the back foot a lot, but we didn't look as if we were capable of getting on the front foot. And whereas here we've had, I wouldn't say sort of stonewall chances or anything like that, but there have been times where we've been playing it out from the back quite well. And if we can actually keep hold of the ball, yeah, this is a totally different performance to the Liverpool one so far. But yeah, good half. Manchester United clearest chance with a stunning save from Fabianski. And, you know, couldn't complain about that at all, really. You know, of course, now all the stats are coming up saying how Man United have had 8 efforts on goal and all this. But, you know, that's how we've been playing against sides like this in recent and doing it very well. It's not a case of backs to the wall, last ditch defending, really. I mean, yeah, we're blocking it well when they're getting shots away, but yeah, we're only doing that when we have to, and it's not a constant barrage that we're having to put up with. Fabianski's made one save, really. So yeah, I'm satisfied with that.
Good stuff. Well, Gnome's happy. Gnome's satisfied, which is always a good sign. What about the rest of us? Pinky, are you happy with what you've seen there in that opening 45 minutes? I mean, difficult not to be happy with the way it's ended anyway.
Yeah, I'm happy because context is everything. You know, we were away from home. We're playing Manchester United. We haven't got a full strength team, not because the manager hasn't picked one, but because he's got some key players who just aren't available. You know, you said earlier, you could argue maybe Ben Rama in and maybe Noble not, just to make it a little bit more positive. And I'm sure that's what we'll see with 10 minutes to go. But, you know, he's got a game plan. How often have we complained about a manager not having a game plan, or we lack in-game management and all the sort of the current modern buzz phrases? The reality is all the pressure here now is building on Manchester United, because the longer this goes on, the more they will feel they need to score and the more they will fear a 90th minute mugging. And that's when they'll start to make mistakes. I think David Moyes is playing this absolutely spot on. We're having to defend for our lives at times. But you know what? How many seasons do you go to Old Trafford and not have to defend for your lives? That's what having, you know, hundreds of millions of pounds to spend on players does for you. You know, oh, he's only scored 15 goals, we'll buy another striker. That sort of mentality. You know, you've got to recognise where we are, who we're up against tonight, and what we've got available to deploy against them. And we haven't got a lot of attacking options, because if we did, we wouldn't be seeing Yarmolenko playing up top. It's that simple. And I think as much as I'd like to see us play 4-2-4 total football and batter them, yeah, not tonight. It's not the night. We haven't got the players. And cut our cloth, stick to the game plan, 80 minutes, try and give them a 10-minute game of football. And if people don't want to see that, yeah, I kind of get that. But you know what? If we went all guns blazing here from minute one, we'd lose 5-0. You know, because look at the firepower Manchester United have got available to them.
Yeah.
You know, and if people think David Moyes doesn't want to win here tonight, seriously, he would love nothing more than sticking it over on Manchester United tonight. Imagine knocking them out of the only competition they've got a realistic chance of winning this year. Yeah. He's got his game plan, and I think we should stick to it.
Okay, well, it's the game plan's working to now, with West Ham holding Manchester United at the break. It's goalless. Manchester United may, as has been pointed out, have had 8 shots at goal in that first half, but only one, crucially, on target. There was, of course, the incredible save from Lucas Fabianski, which doesn't count as an effort on target, but was, as we said, one of the best saves we've seen from a West Ham goalkeeper this season, that ensured the Hammers remain on level terms at the break. West Ham, of course, only 1 shot. That one was a blocked effort, I think, from Souček right at the start of the half, and so consequently none on target. West Ham's only corner ended up with a clash of heads between Diop and Martial, who earlier had been involved in a challenge with Angelo Ogbonna that left to the centre half, having to leave the field after just, 16, 17 minutes. Rio, I don't suppose Angelo Ogbonna's going to be up for taking a penalty later, but even still, a huge miss for West Ham. And, he seemed to be okay, didn't he? He was kind of limping, but, on his feet at the end. But it's still, this is a West Ham team missing Michail Antonio, missing Jesse Lingard. Now we're missing, our sort of talisman at the back. It's making it a tall order for the Hammers anyway.
Definitely, and as you say, it could have been a lot worse because the stretcher got brought out and everyone feared the worst. He walked off rather gingerly. As you said, though, he looked on the sidelines as if he was a bit frustrated. He had to actually leave the pitch.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. And we've got a little bit of a gap between now and Monday. So hopefully we can get him rested, a little bit of work done on him if necessary. He's got a fighting chance of being fit for Monday night, hopefully. But it's the natural left-sided defender.
Yeah.
So it's a natural substitution. I mean, there was a couple of options there. Balbuena, the young kid, who really wasn't going to be a realistic chance to come on. But Balbuena's been in pretty good form when he's played this season. So, but he's obviously more naturally right-footed. So it made sense for us to come on. And this has got a little bit of a point to prove. So hopefully you can step up to the mark tonight.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. Yeah, just coming in on that, talking about Diop and Balbuena, because Balbuena was playing very, very well under Moyes earlier in the season before Craig Dawson came into the team, got that little injury, lost his place. Do you sort of feel that Diop's sort of experiencing a bit of a renaissance under Moyes? I mean, I know he's not got his place back in the team, but I kind of feel that 3 months ago, if Moyes was staring at a choice between Balbuena and Diop, he would have gone for the Paraguayan out of the two. But obviously tonight he's gone for the young Frenchman instead. And, he's still here. We thought he may go during the transfer window, but he's still here. It's going to be here to the end of the season. And we know what a great player he can be on his day. He's had a bad year or 18 months, hasn't he? But he was exceptional in that first year at the club. So any surprise really for you that he's come in instead of Balbuena?
Not at all. I mean, I think we all know what he's capable of. The last 18 months for him has been poor. It was poor for the whole club last year. So it's not been easy for any of them. But it's a loss his complete confidence and complete form last season.
Yeah.
Because he's naturally left-sided and Angelo's been so imperious for the last 18 months, it's not helped his cause either that way. Where we play with the four at the moment, with Angelo on the left, Dawson on the right, it's hard for Issa to break his way into the side again. So it was going to take an opportunity like this, an injury, for him to get back into the lineup and really force his issue. So hopefully he puts in a really good performance tonight. If required on Monday, he does the same. This could be the rejuvenation of him. Unfortunately, it could be at the expense of Angelo Bonner. He's been our best player in defence for such a long time. But this is how players regain their confidence, regain their form, make their mark on the team.
Yeah, very much so. He's certainly been given an opportunity, and we hope he goes on to take it. A player with obvious talent, just hasn't really been showing it of late. But a young player with a big future ahead of him, no doubt. Tonight's meeting is, interestingly, the 13th. FA Cup meeting between the two teams. There's been 3 draws. Manchester United winning 5 in the past to West Ham's 4. Very, very even, unlike the league record, which is interesting. But Pinky, we sort of said as the game's gone on, you kind of get a little bit more of a feeling that maybe West Ham could just do it here. Maybe this is another 2001 about to happen with, the Hammers soaking up the pressure and who knows, bringing on a Benrahma or someone like that at the end and maybe nicking it in the closing stages.
Yeah,
what do you think?
It's cup football. It's cup football. And in cup football, the odds are stacked against you. Yeah, you can go one or two ways. You can go all guns blazing, and you'll probably lose, because do you know what? That's the nature of the beast. Or you can say we're going to stay in the tie for as long as we can and try and nick it towards the end. And I know why some of our supporters say, well, that's all negative and all the rest of it. But sometimes you've got to actually dose your ambition and realism and say, do you know what? With the options available to the manager, let's just try and stay in this game tonight for as long as we can, and then try and go for it. If in the 80th minute he starts bringing on a couple of defenders to play for extra time, well, I'll concede the point, if you get my drift. But I'd expect us to see Benrahma introduced late on. for us, and I expect to see Bruno Fernandes introduced for Man United, and possibly a bit earlier than that. So as long as we can stay in touch, I'm quite happy. Just to go back to your point on the centre backs there, I don't share everyone's enthusiasm for Issa Diop. I think he's got a lot to learn about the game, and I think the reality is he's been kept out of the side by Angelo Ogbonna week in, week out. That's who his competition is. So if he wants to start every week, he's got to be better than Ogbonna, for my money, and he isn't. Not at this point in time. I think where we've perhaps got his development a little bit wrong, we've put too much faith in the fact that he'd played, 60 or 70 games in the French league. I personally think if you're in the wrong half of that league, you're not really developing all that much. It's not a particularly good yardstick. I think we've possibly missed a trick that he could have done with a season out on loan somewhere, just to play some football regularly. Very difficult, because as soon as you do that, you'll have an injury run, and in particular, we're borrowing a centre half. But I don't think Issa Diop's going to make it, if I'm being truthful. I wouldn't be surprised to see us trade him in the summer. Just my view.
Well, we shall see. Of course, he will remain with West Ham for the rest of the season, having not left the club in the January transfer window, despite lots of rumours that he was going to do exactly that. But anyway, it is Diop in for Ogbonna, who was injured after 16 minutes in that accidental collision with Martial as Manchester United tried to score, but doing a decent job so far. Manchester United, Gnome, have, as we said, they've controlled the game in terms of possession, plenty of opportunities, but once again, West Ham restricting them to long range and generally speculative efforts. We've defended very, very, very well, and Mark Noble, to his credit, has sort of been pivotal to all that, and kept a very tight ship in terms of maintaining the defensive structure and ensuring that everyone's pulling their weight so far.
Yeah, there was a spell, and I mentioned it while it was happening, where we were beginning to drop back into form, that back nine, if you like, and that was the point at which I got worried. But we did. It may have been when we had the stoppage for Diop and Martial that I think maybe a message got on around then, to be careful about doing that. It was noticeable that Noble was pulling people out a little bit. He was trying to, a couple of times you saw him come up and sort of thing, just to get that sort of more three-dimensional effect to the shape to the side, if you like. So, I mean, the one thing that is bugging me at the moment is the potential for us to go 1-0 down very shortly after the interval, having sort of worked so hard to do to concentrate and to restrict Manchester United to what we've restricted them to. That propensity to just go to sleep for the first 5-10 minutes of the second half is one that continues to worry me. So let's just hope. We haven't let in goal. We didn't let in the goal, obviously, in that spell against Fulham. Yeah, but it's just we've done it far too often for it to be. For it not to worry me, let's put it that way.
Well, of course, no. I mean, it was against the very same opponents tonight that we sort of fell asleep in the second half, wasn't it? In the last meeting back on the 5th of December. I mean, as we know, everyone will recall, West Ham led 1-0 at the break on that occasion. Absolutely fantastic first half. One of the best halves. Of the season, really, up to then. Thomas Souček scoring the only goal 7 minutes ahead of the half-time break. But then Manchester United completely controlling the second half. Pogba scoring, Greenwood and Rashford adding goals 2 and 3 in the 68th and 78th minute. But no Pogba tonight. But the man who made all the difference that night was Bruno Fernandes. Do you think Solskjaer might be tempted to bring him on at half-time, or at least very early in the second half?
I wouldn't have thought he'd do it at half-time. And I'm just try to see now if there's any changes been made. But I don't know. I mean, it might, if they go 1-0 down at some point, then you'll discover how much how much they need a trophy. Solskjaer needs a trophy, and you'll see him come on. But you know, sorry, I'm just trying to see if there's anybody coming on at the moment. You know, they're just. I think West Ham are making them wait because it's obviously a bit parky out there. And
good idea.
yeah.
It's snowing quite a bit in Manchester, isn't it? And the Man U's players don't look that happy about waiting. But I mean, you know, every little thing counts, and you know, it's good stuff by David Moyes. Really, a little bit of psychology there, in terms of, you know, forcing them to get a little bit chilly.
Well, there's no point in going out before the ref, and the ref is coming out pretty much simultaneously with the team. So
I think, is that Ben Johnson coming out there? Did we see Ben Johnson?
Ben Johnson, yeah, stripped and ready to come on. So let's see what.
Where's Soufal? I haven't seen Soufal come out yet. Ben Johnson is definitely coming onto the pitch anyway. Yeah. So I think Cresswell's come out. So he's certainly not going at left back. I mean, as I said, I haven't seen Vladi Soufal come out yet, but we're just going to see.
It's Bowen, actually.
It's Jared Bowen. So what does this mean? I mean, Rio, is this a tactical switch by David Moyes now? Perhaps going to 5 at the back?
That's all I can really imagine. But who slots into the... This Rice drops back further into the back 3. So it's a bit of a strange one. I mean, Jared didn't have the best first half, but there wasn't a really lot of opportunity there for him, was there?
Well, Bowen played ahead of Soufal. He has played ahead of Soufal recently, hasn't he, for a spell in a game. And I suspect that a lot of Manchester United had a lot of the ball down their left, our right-hand side. And Bowen wasn't really assisting in stemming that. So I think there might be unless Bowen sort of is carrying a knock, then I think that's probably a tactical thing to restart that. So
Fredericks is on as well.
It's all happening now. That's 3 defensive changes inside the first 45 minutes by David Moyes. We're just waiting to see who Fredericks has come on for. I haven't seen the.
That might well be Soufal.
We're just
I can't see Soufal out there. I think Fredericks may be on for Soufal.
Which is kind of worrying if that's the case. But Pinky, what do you make of that? You know, Johnson and Fredericks both on at half time. Diop already on after 17 minutes. So West Ham having made 3 changes, you know, without a minute of the second half being played.
Oh, it's Diop.
Interestingly.
Yeah, it's Diop. I mean, he's probably in Disneyland, having had a clatter on the Swede.
The header, maybe the collision with Marshall.
Yeah, I would think so. I think they'll have had a proper look at him at half time and gone, do you know what? This guy shouldn't be on the field. So, you know, if that is the case, then surely are concussion subs allowed in cup games?
Yeah.
So perhaps this, you know, dare I say it? I mean, firstly, I hope Mr. Diop's okay, but who knows? We might have a bit of smart management here where the manager actually gets a change in personnel, but without losing one of his subs, you know, options. So interesting to see what
it does mean that Manchester United will have an extra substitution available to them. So that's
how it works. If we get an extra one, they get an extra one. Is that right?
Yeah. Obviously, if we get a concussion sub, then they're allowed an extra sub. Obviously, it doesn't have to be a concussion for that. So that's how that works. But I'm not sure if we can confirm if that's a concussion sub or not. Yarmolenko's in the box. Anyway, getting back to the game, and does well to get some form of crossing, but it's cut out by Henderson. Wasn't an awful lot in the box there for him. So.
Oh, here we go.
He's actually been caught there late, I think, and he's off the pitch. The play will continue, but he's He's looking for a little bit of pain there. So now here's a little bit daft because they put the ball out, but he's actually off the pitch. So if he needs treatment, he can have it, sort of thing. Like the game could carry on. But I'm not complaining they put the ball out because it means we're not playing with 10 men for a period. But if, of course, they've just subbed Fredericks on for Diop as a straightforward ordinary sub, and that's the I think they have to fill in a green card instead of a white one, then of course we've now got no more subs. And Yarmolenko's one was just having got the cross in, he just landed awkwardly. He's running it off anyway.
Well, I mean, on the bright side, I guess one player who won't be bothered about playing in the snow in Manchester on a cold Tuesday night is Andrei Yarmolenko, who of course hails from the Ukraine, where I imagine they're fairly used to those sort of conditions.
He wears gloves though. He wears gloves on a warm evening in Bournemouth, doesn't he? So yeah.
Well, that's true. Rio, just having a look now. West Ham have effectively got 3 right backs on the pitch. How are we sort of lining? Okay, it's come to nothing. Manchester, we're about to break them. It's come to nothing. How does it look like we're lining up now, Rio? What do you make of those subs?
I'm trying. Initially, I thought it kind of a back 3 with Kufa on the right hand side, Fredericks just kind of the right wing back, and Johnson's the left wing back. Definitely seems to be erring towards that kind of way. Yeah. But if we do play as a 4, then we've got kind of similar situation as we had against Villa with Fredericks and Kufel both doubling up Posh and Martial, and Johnson helping out with Fornells on the left-hand side. So, but it's a bit early to call it. I'd like to point out, though, that normally we start second half very sluggishly and slow. But already we've had a couple of forays into the main right half, a couple into the box, which is a bonus. We've actually started off on the front 4 for a change.
Yeah, Ben Johnson looking very lively on the left-hand side. Now, I say Johnson is a right back, but of course he's quite adept at playing on the left-hand side, although naturally right-sided. But Pinky, a decent start. No, whisper it from the Hammers here in the second half, despite having made 3 defensive changes already.
Yeah, but again, I wouldn't read too much into the changes that have been made, other than we've needed to make a change, and it's who have I got? I don't think we're looking at tactical genius here. I think we're looking at bare bones and you'll do, kind of thing. You're my best option.
I think. Sorry for coming in there, but I'm just wondering why. Well, it'd be nice to know what the rationale is behind Fredericks for Diop, because you do have. There are options on the bench. Fabian Balbuena, as we said in the first half, is a substitute tonight. Of course, you've got the young lad Alves as well. So, if boys did want to make a straight swap for Diop, the opportunity was there. But no, he's gone for the fullback instead.
Yeah, and I subscribe to the 5 across the back routine, but with a chance then to push the 2 widest players forward and maybe try and peg Manchester United back. I think if we look at the first half, Bowen and Fornall's got nothing, at all. Had very little impact on the game. And it might just be an opportunity to say, if we can push, play 5 at the back and move it into the 2 wide men going forward, we might offer a little bit more of an attacking threat eventually. We're only looking for 1 goal here. We're not looking for 5.
Yeah. Well, of course, it would be nice if we could score 5, but yes. we'd certainly just take the 1, especially at this stage. But the Hammers.
It's snowing, and we haven't mentioned Jonathan Spector. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, what a night that was!
Absolutely.
2010, 2 goals by Johnny Spector. Was it Colton Cole, Pinky, with the other 2, one off his backside, if I remember rightly?
Sounds reasonable, but undoubtedly the night was Spector's, and you think of all the games he'd ever played, that was the night. Terrific.
It was
night.
Spector's match, as it's known.
Yeah.
And quite rightly so. I got home about 2 in because there was absolutely no way of getting home after I did the press conference, by which time the snow had come so heavily there was pretty much zero public transport. And the then young lady friend and I managed to, as well, good blocking again. As we bring the ball away. I thought that was going to be a promising move, but not there. But yeah, I think we ended up getting a taxi home down to Hither Green from West Ham, cost an arm and a leg.
Shot about to come in. No, he's pulled it down and played it out wide to the right. Manchester United looking to get a cross in. It has come in. It's low. It's deflected. And it's a real chance here. Oh, what a save, Fabianski. Fantastic. Oh, yes. A superb save by Fabianski. Rashford, one-on-one with the keeper. Really looked like it was going to be a goal there, Gnome, but Fabianski coming to West Ham's rescue yet again.
Fabianski knew where that ball was going to be and how it was going to come to Rashford before Rashford did, and was anticipated that so well. Got up, stood up big in front of Rashford, and Rashford prodded it goalwards. But you watch Fabianski now; he's already on the way out while the ball's coming down to Rashford. Watch, he starts running now, and spreads himself well. Comes off his arm, but low down, but. And well, we can confirm that the Diop substitution was a concussion one, because we've now brought on Odebeckham for Yarmolenko, who, having landed awkwardly, also got a little bit of a kick from Maguire a few minutes later, and was hobbling around. So unless anybody else wants to bang their head, I think that's it for the subs.
I don't think there's anyone left to come on, is there? No, I think that's the whole squad now.
Yeah.
Kevin Nolan getting changed into his kit. Has anyone got any 4XL shorts? These ones are a bit tight.
The good thing, I suppose, coming from that is of course, that we are seeing Odebeckham coming on for his debut. It's his first opportunity to feature in the first team. Of course, lot to prove. He came from Manchester United, but you know what, Rio, I kind of got the feeling from the first minute that Yarmolenko just didn't really fancy that tonight.
I'll defend him a little bit. He was incredibly isolated. He didn't really have much of an opportunity. But as soon as he took that knock, you just knew he wasn't right. And he kept rubbing his knee, rubbing his thigh, rolling his sock over his knee again. He definitely didn't look particularly impressed with the treatment he got towards the end there.
Yeah.
Just going back to the Soufal thing, so he's definitely dropped in as a third centre-back, which again strikes me as a little bit strange when you've got Balbuena, who's a natural right-sided centre-back, on the bench. But apparently Diop can't play in the Sheffield United game because of the concussion protocols.
Yeah.
So maybe he's been saved, Balbuena.
Or it might be half an eye to spot kicks.
True.
Yeah. There's another thought occurs to me. That, Diop was down and Marshall were both down for quite a while, and if concussion had been an issue, and I'm no medical expert and all that, but the time at which to sort of make that call would have been there and then, wouldn't it? He was allowed to play another 10-15 minutes, however long it was between that and half time. It's slightly worrying that it took them to the half-time interval, as that's gone out for a goal kick.
Come on, that's gone. That
went out for a goal kick, and they're still playing on. And shades of what happened at the Olympic Stadium, where Manchester United got a goal from a ball retrieved from the crowd virtually. But that looked like daylight to me. It's slightly concerning that you get a 15-minute half time, and so he's had a good 20 minutes of since the impact, and it's taken them 20 minutes to think that concussion might be an issue.
Yeah, very much so. It's a very good point. Just another thing I'm thinking there is that, of course, it means Mark Noble, who has barely played a full game, this year, is going to be out there for at least 90 minutes, and Rio potentially 2 hours on that pitch if we do go to penalties. Just wonder how those 33-year-old legs are going to be standing up come the end of that, if that is indeed the case.
Well, at least it's a nice warm night, so his legs will be nice and warm. He'll be able to run through it a little bit. Now, you won't, no chance of him seizing up at all with frostbite.
We've already
It's a bit of a
seen
scary prospect, isn't it?
three trademark lunges from Mark this evening in parts of the pitch where you're thinking, if he connects, you know, that's a nailed on free kick that's coming in dangerous areas. But, you know, he's an experienced professional, and sometimes you need all that experience to get you through games like this. So I'd back him to have just about enough stamina to hang on for a couple of hours of football. You know, or put another way, I'd rather have Noble on the pitch right now than Yarmolenko. Yeah, because Yarmo really didn't contribute very much, certainly not very much hard work in the first half. And all he really did was show the manager that actually, you know, why sprint when you can jog? You know, I'm afraid Yarmo's race, as far as I'm concerned, at West Ham is done. Corner comes in from West Ham, bit of a scramble. Can we make, you know, nah, couldn't get out from underneath his feet. Ball comes back to Fredericks, plays it wide. Souček on the ball now. Goes past the man, just carry it into the box. Through to Cresswell. Yeah, some good stuff there from West Ham. I mean, you know, we're at a few moments, and who knows? Yeah, what was nearly an hour gone? It's still 0-0. Quite happy still. Quite happy.
Yeah, West Ham in the not quite in the ascendancy, I guess, but you know, looking relatively dangerous, and with a little bit of luck, who knows? You know, dangerous ball in, really well defended, that cross from Lindelof. But West Ham looking to break again. Noble plays the ball out wide to Soufal, who's calling for some help as he plays it out wide to Fredericks. Back to Soufal, who's going to look across, possibly go all the way back, in fact, to Fabianski. But you know, good stuff. West Ham keeping possession, I say, as Fabianski launches one into the upper atmosphere. But Noble has the ball against the West Ham, looking to build. So no, better from West Ham, and it's been, let's be honest, it's been a decent start to the second half so far, all things considered.
Yeah, we're keeping the ball well. We're keeping the ball well in their half as well, which is good. With some good stuff from Johnson out on the left-hand side, and I mean, he's just had it there. Okay, he's played it back to Cresswell, but a couple of times he's gone on runs that have had them looking at the Man United defence. So yeah, good little spell of pressure. Fornals plays a lovely ball out to the left-hand side where Johnson is. Doesn't look for the cross, plays it into Rice, who's back out to Johnson. Johnson's now getting the cross. He whips it across, but it's needed someone running across it a bit more. But Henderson gathers safely. But good little spell, 2-3 minute spell there for West Ham.
Yeah, very much so. But interestingly, the ball was curled into the danger area there, and we saw Souček sort of lunge towards the ball, but without any job. We're just seeing Manchester United try to break down the left, but it's well covered by Craig Dawson, and the Hammers looking to build again. Thomas Souček, Rio. Been a bit quiet, hasn't he, really, so far? We haven't seen an awful lot of him, whether or not it's because he's playing in a slightly unusual position for him. But, you know, we were kind of going out of our minds when we thought he wasn't going to be involved tonight. But, yeah, Manchester United have done a pretty good job keeping him quiet so far.
I don't think the rejigging formations really helped. When Noble comes in, it kind of takes the Rice-Souček combination out of sync.
Yeah.
We had to play a slightly little bit further forward. And obviously, we were under the cosh for most of that first half.
Fredericks did his fullback there, but good, interesting cross in. But Man United player's gone down. Lindelof has gone down, rubbing the back of his head, and the referee's given a free kick. So, yeah, Fredericks sort of playing in this more advanced role. It's as we see the cross come in again. Souček is up there. Is that a foul?
Never.
Lindelof has headed the ball away and put his head in the back of in the front of Souček. Not really a foul there. I don't think there's anything from Souček. But no, what's he doing now? I think the referee's confusing everyone. What is it? A free kick or I think it's going to be a drop ball actually. So he stopped it for the head injury, of which we've seen a couple already this evening. So
good name for a band, that, by the way, Rio. The Rice-Souček combination. That kind of got like a prog rock feel about it.
Yeah,
It's jazz
not
club,
my
isn't it?
department.
It's jazz club, that the Suchek Rice combination, featuring Stepney Green on bass.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here we go. 62 minutes gone. It's Manchester United, nil West Ham United, nil West Ham having made four substitutions already. Manchester United yet to make a single one. But the Hammers holding their own despite having, more than their fair share of right backs on the pitch, having an 18-year-old, or barely 18-year-old in Odebeku making his debut, having come on for the injured Yarmolenko. The Hammers have probably shaded it, I think it's fair to say, so far in the second half, Pinky. And, we keep repeating ourselves, or at least I do. But the longer it goes on, the West Ham is still in it. It's only takes one goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And the pressure will be mounting on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now to make something happen, because you're absolutely right. We are on top at the minute, just slightly, but we're playing a lot more of the game in their half this half than we did in the first half. And Manchester United, they've got 27 minutes to win this in normal time.
Yep.
Surely Solskjaer must be thinking of making a change imminently, you would think, because if he fails to do that and this goes into extra time tonight, he is going to get slaughtered by his own supporters, surely. They'll be pointing out now, West Ham United have got three right backs on the pitch. Still, Solskjaer isn't committing more of his enormous resources to tackle it. So for me, this is actually just shaping up nicely now for a last good quarter of an hour, something like that. Just hang on in there to 75, 80 minutes. And then, do you know what? It ain't pretty. We just start punting balls forward and get within sight of their goal and see what happens. It's all a bit non-West Ham, dare I say it. But did Ron Greenwood ever have to put three right backs on the pitch at the same time?
I don't think Ron Greenwood ever had three right backs, probably. Given the fact that you had...
he had to put Martin Peters in goal once, didn't he? So.
Yes, and of course, probably more as well.
Just a technical thing, of course, Solskjaer does have an extra substitute under his available to him because of the fact that Diop was a concussion sub. Also, of course, it does go to extra time. Both teams get another sub. So we could end up with a little bit like one of those 60s bands that are still doing the chicken in a basket circuit, may contain one or fewer of the original lineup.
Yes, very much so.
Theseus' ship, or if you want to be a little bit more lowbrow about it, Trigger's broom.
Yeah.
Just want to say UK subs could be made up almost entirely of subs.
Manchester United break on the left looks very dangerous. The ball hooked back into the centre, but Aaron Cresswell, I think it was, getting a boot in importantly to avert the danger and ensure West Ham remain on level terms. I just wanted to point out, actually, gentlemen, a few minutes ago, I'm sure you noticed, but there was a kind of long, lingering shot on the sidelines of Michael Carrick, who, of course, is very much part of the Manchester United setup these days, but was playing on the other team that the day we keep referring to in 2001, when the Hammers came here in that FA Cup tie and so memorably won 1-0. Michael Carrick playing in the midfield that day alongside Frank Lampard and Joey Cole, in front of Tiernan, Pierce Daly, Schemmel, Winterburn and Canute. And Di Canio up front that day, Pearson Soma, Raggy Soma. Remember Raggy Soma, the Norwegian superstar who came into the club and immediately got under everyone's immediately complained about the drinking culture at the club. But one of his few appearances was, of course, as an 88th minute late substitute that day at Old Trafford. And here we go. Another 10 minutes to go. And that will be Gnome exactly when Paolo Di Canio scored the only goal that day, 76th minute. Yeah.
So we're all exercising our arms. Frederick's on the right-hand side. Now he's got some good... He's played it down the line. He's done well to get a cross in, and it's just blocked out though. But if we can get Fredericks on this ball a little bit, he's getting some change out of this side of things. I'm just wondering, and somebody will know this. This Manchester United build-up outside the box. I'll come back to what I was going to say in a second. Van der Beek's on the edge, but can't find a cross, so it's gone all the way back. And well, again, we've reverted to this Man United sort of playing it across and trying to find a way through, but not getting anywhere. So while it's back to, and they've given the ball away now, and West Ham have got 3-on-2 here if they play it right. Fornals is going forward. Fornals doesn't find the ball. Rice was out left. Rice picks up the loose end, but it flicked off a Man United player. Both Rice and Odubeka, we had 3-on-2 there, and we've got to make the most of these guys. Rice out on the left wing now. We've still got the ball. And Cresswell tries the overlap. Rice ignores it. Ball played in, not very convincingly cleared and sliced. And again, we're beginning to build up the pressure. But somebody might know this. Does that make Fredericks the first concussion sub used in English football?
No idea.
So.
Yeah. So I don't think anyone else's has been used. So, yeah, that's one for the quiz books. While alongside Keith Peacock.
Go on, explain.
1965, first ever sub in English football.
There you go. There you go. The knowledge and experience you get here on the KUMB.
Lockdown really hasn't dragged in the Gnome household, has it? Not a wasted evening. Yeah. You know.
Lockdown? What lockdown?
Locked up to what you are, my friend.
You'd have thought there'd been something in the papers about it.
I just wonder, going back to that 3-against-2 there, Pinky. I just wish it seemed to me that Fornals didn't have a lot of faith in Odubeka. He was streaming away on his right hand side. You looked like the ball was perfect for him, but chose the other way.
Exactly my thoughts. You know, he saw who was making the run to the right of him. Thought, nah, I'm not giving it to him. And with the greatest respect to Pablo Fornals, I'm not really sure that's his decision to make, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think, do you know what? Back the youngster, give him the ball, see what he can do. You know, if he scores, he's a hero. If he misses, so what? You're in the reserves next week anyway, son. So, you know, maybe, you know, Pablo should have shown more confidence in his teammate. It's a lovely build-up player from West Ham now. Ball comes in, again, cut out, knocked back. Fredericks on the ball, good early cross, I like that.
Oh, where's that going?
Said all over the place defensively time. Well, I mean, you know, if this is a boxing match, then stop it. We are battering them. Yeah, absolutely battering them for a whole 20 seconds. But I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, Manchester United look a little bit rattled, Rio, don't they, at the moment?
Yeah, the build up to that, I was going to say attempt on goal by Wan-Bissaka, because that's the nearest we've come on our own shot for a while. But the build-up was absolute quality. Nice ball in from Fornals. Odubeka did great, just flicking the ball on for Fredericks to get the cross in. Nice little touch from a youngster. We've got a corner here. Looks like Cresswell's going to take it. One thing we haven't done, he's got Souček involved aerially yet, so hopefully we can find him. Good ball in, headed away. Noble knocks it back out to Cress. Back inside for Rice. Back towards Nobes. Plays it inside for Ben Johnson. He spreads it wide. Big cross into the middle. Henderson gets it. But it's a little bit of sustained pressure from West Ham. In the last 10 minutes, we've really been on the front foot. We've really attacked. We look sharp. And there's a couple of cracks appearing in the Manchester United defence, but we should have exploited a little bit better than we have. But it's good stuff so far. This second half has been really positive.
Pinky, surprised that Solskjaer's not made a change yet?
Flabbergasted, actually. I mean, you know, we talk about fans not being in the stadiums. There would be boos and catcalls and all sorts ringing around Old Trafford at this, you know. And
well, having said that, here we go.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
You know, Fernandes and McTominay coming on. I think Matic will get hooked. I think, for fairly certain, and maybe Fred. So let's see who. Camera goes to Donny van der Beek straight away. Is it him? He's looking.
Fernandez is there. As you say.
Yeah, I'd get more game time at PSV than I'm getting at Old Trafford. He's thinking. This is 31 going off. Who's 31?
Matic.
Yeah, I'll call that. Yeah, there you go.
And who's the other one going to be? You'd think it might be Van der Beek, wouldn't you? Because he's not really been involved to a great degree.
Yeah.
Indeed, it is Van der Beek. So Fernandez and McTominay coming on for Matic and Van der Beek. And there it is, Pinky, the big guns coming on, a bit like that day in 2007 when the Man United fans chanted, "Send them down," after Carlos Tevez had given West Ham the first half lead there that day.
Yeah, and you know what? To hear that from a club that not that many years beforehand themselves have been, drifting into what we will always know as Division 2. Yeah, I don't think Manchester United supporters can ever start chanting that sort of stuff at other clubs. Yeah, they've won a few trophies, but you know what? Their brown, smelly stuff still smells the same as the rest of ours. But looking at that,
remarkably short-sighted chant of theirs, because had Sheffield United stayed up, it would have been a longer journey for their supporters. So, it's just a thought there.
Absolutely.
And Fredericks again has got the better of, unlucky there. Souček sort of tries to pick up a loose ball and goes out for a goal kick. But if we can get Fredericks on the ball on this right-hand side more often, he's getting quite a lot down that side.
He's looked very dangerous, Gnome, hasn't he? I was just going to ask you about that. I mean, 4 or 5 times now he's had the better of his fullback.
I mean, I said the other night that once Cresswell had decided he never really wanted to see Soufal's face again, as again some good passing down the left-hand side, Johnson on the ball. The other night against Villa, that's a loose one though. Got to be careful here now because we could get caught in the break. Streaming forward, that's a nice ball inside the fullback. Danger here. Ball pulled back to the edge of the box, but they're playing around at the edge of the box, and again it's sort of brilliant shape to West Ham. Although finally a cross comes in, but again it's cleared out. From being sort of very pacey attack on the break there, where we could have been in trouble. We've got back to this playing attack against defence thing again, and that's good defending from West Ham, because we could have been in trouble there, but we could have got drawn out, but we kept the shape, and really, we've now got the ball back for our throw.
Impressive there was when Manchester United tore down the right flank. We saw fully 7 West Ham United shirts all coming back as a unit to actually pack the box and then make sure there's no easy space to be exploited. And you think, if you want to know the difference that David Moyes has made to this West Ham United team, is that defending as a unit mentality, that we haven't got 2 or 3 players just loitering around the other end of the pitch thinking, well, that ain't my job. That was hard work and application that made sure that we kept Man United at bay there. Good work by West Ham.
Yeah, very much so. And key to all that, I mean, Steve Law, it was a few minutes ago he pointed this out, but it's still remains accurate now as we approach the 76th minute, Paolo's minute, of course, referring to that goal in the FA Cup, which you see Manchester United break, actually. Martial's had a shot. Craig Dawson yet again. Another shot comes in, and Bruno Fernandes drags it wide. West Ham. Craig Dawson, absolutely brilliant again there. But going back to Steve Law's comment, Steve was saying a few minutes ago that Mark Noble's done really well tonight. He's had a perfect game, despite all the chat beforehand about him, being past it, his legs having gone and all that. But Pinky, Noble's been credit where it's due. It's been pretty exceptional so far tonight. Controlled the midfield. Yeah,
and the comments, the negativity towards Mark are all about his engine and his ability to get around the pitch these days, particularly if it's a high-paced game. No one really questions his ability on the ball, that's for sure. His decision-making, and he's also done the one absolutely sublime moment of skill in the game so far, which was midway through the first half. As we were clearing our lines, he gave a little swivel of the hips just to create himself a yard of space. One of those little things that actually you'd barely notice, but it was a moment of genuine class. You think there's a player who can play the game. You know, he knows how to make space for himself. And you know, I've said it many, many times. We will miss him when he's gone. Yes, he's in the twilight of his career, but you know, who would begrudge him a trip to the Empire Stadium in May? And you know, the way things are looking, quarter of an hour left. Anything could happen here now.
Yep, it certainly could. It's beginning to look very much like the first goal is going to be enough, as West Ham build on the left. Ben Johnson looks to cut on the inside. The overlap from Cresswell carries his man away. Johnson elects to pull the ball back to Rice. Rice back to Dawson. Dawson's going to bring it out right to Soufal here. Soufal's looking down the line to see where Fredericks is. He's going to aim it down there, but it's too long, and the break comes to nothing. Craig Dawson's growing into the game as well, playing really, really well, but it's just something sort of occurred to me there, Gnome, actually. Just a couple of incidents. Thomas Souček won a header 35 yards from goal, right out on the right flank, and then in a similar position a few moments ago, lost possession. That's not where we want to see Thomas Souček, surely, in that position. Surely we want him more centrally, whether it's slightly deeper or even in a slightly more advanced role. Surely that's where he's going to create the maximum damage rather than out wide.
Maybe, but then if you've got a clearance coming from the back, there's a natural tendency to aim those wide. So maybe just to have a chance of winning the ball, because not sure how good Fredericks is in the air, but good run by Rice, but it's just gone one too far there. But yeah, I can see what you mean. But there's some good link-up play between him and Fredericks beginning to. What I was saying about Fredericks, excuse me, earlier on was before something looked like it was going to happen, was that once Grealish had gone over the other side, he was having a whale of a time on that side.
Yeah.
Fortunate bounce. Oh, what a great tackle. Declan again. And although we've lost it, but looking dangerous there. The shot that takes a deflection, it's gone over. That'll be a corner. Fernandez is looking to get a shot in when he can, I think. Just having a look at it now. He's got a bit of space in front of him, and I think it's Declan again got across to get the blocking on the shot. So, but he put in a superb tackle on the edge of the box just as it was beginning to look as if there'd be a bit of space. So we need to be defending here. You want to stay with me for the corner. In-swinger played in, nodded up in the air by Martial. Swung a shot, but it was going wide, and now we bring the ball away. And Manchester defender there just got there before. I think it's not Odebeck. I'm not sure that might have been Fornals out there. Fornals have been half an inch quicker. He was through on goal there, so Man United need to be a little bit careful on the break as well. Again, a fine challenge from Soufal, not being conned there, and we play it away down the right.
Yeah, West Ham still looking unlucky, Odebeku there, but we're still looking pretty comfortable, Rio, aren't we, out there right now? 81 minutes gone. Still Manchester United nil, West Ham United nil. We're still looking for the first goal of the game. But did you kind of agree now that we're getting into that area where it's, first goal wins?
Yeah, very much looking like that. And my worry is now Fernandez is on. Not only is he's a great player and a good striker of the ball, but he loves to draw a foul, doesn't he? And one cheap foul, one cheap free kick around the box could lose the game for us. But I've been really impressed by the way we've come out in the second half. We've defended diligently with great discipline. We've attacked on the break a couple of times really well. We've caused the bigger problems this half than Manchester United have. And after all the rejigging of formation and personnel, and bearing in mind the starting 11 we had on the pitch and the lack of options we do have, performance to be incredibly proud of so far, whatever happens in the rest of this game.
Your match stats so far as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer appears to be contemplating a third substitute. Manchester United 64% possession, West Ham United 36%. Manchester United 11 shots, 2 on target. West Ham still only the 1 shot despite all that possession we've enjoyed in this second half. So it hasn't led to a single shot since half time as Manchester United look to break on the right, but the move falls down with Greenwood unable to reach a long raking pass aimed out towards the touchline. 5 corners for Manchester United, 3 for West Ham United. Manchester United having committed 7 fouls to West Ham's 8. So you know it's another one of those games, Pink. It's not dissimilar to Fulham in some ways, in that we've seen an awful lot of shots from the home side, but Fulham had 20 shots, 2 on target. Tonight so far, Manchester United 14 shots, also 2 on target. But yeah, that's got to be testament really to West Ham's defensive resolve, you'd think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, the so-called great Manchester United was, you know, having to resort to taking long-range shots. You know, thank you very much. You know, a former manager of ours would have all the stats in the world on the chances of scoring like that. I mean, for us, I think that this has been a good game plan this evening. Let's not forget at the minute, you know, we've got a makeshift back 3 out there, and against, you know, the so-called world famous Manchester United attack. Well, how busy is Fabianski being in the second half? You know, he's barely seen the ball.
One save.
You know, so 1 save at Old Trafford with a scratch back 3 essentially at this point in time in front of him. Yeah. So whatever we're doing is working. And I don't think we've parked the bus. I think we've played plenty of the game in the second half, in the Man United half.
Yeah.
If I had a criticism of us at the minute, we're just letting it get a little bit too open. And that might be the fact that, you know, United having brought on, or Manchester United having brought on Fernandes, someone who's a lot more comfortable on the ball, who actually says, give me the ball and I'll make something happen. So could be a difficult last, you know, 5 or 6 minutes for us here.
Yeah, we're into 5 and a bit minutes left to go of regulation time. Of course, if it remains 0-0 after 90 minutes plus whatever added on time is required, it will go to extra time. Manchester United looking to force it here, but yet again, West Ham, Craig Dawson, who I think's been exemplary in this second half, just making sure that goes nowhere. Manchester United's fullback taking a dive in an attempt to win a free kick, but credit to the referee, he's not buying that one. Gnome, it looks like they're throwing Cavar.
Yeah, I mean, as to say, you've got subs to burn, haven't you, with the extra one? Get one on now, and as he's doing some spot of hair adjustment, are they stopping to go for the sub? He's got his headband on anyway, and that'll be Rashford is coming on, and Rashford has been very quiet today, hasn't he? Oh, sorry, it's Greenwood even. Sorry, I saw the wrong. I saw the D at the end of the back of the shirt. So, but he's been quiet as well, really. Second half.
Yeah.
So
third change. Third change going for Man U. So as you say, we've had 4. They've got 1 more to come after this.
They've got 1 more to come in normal time, and then injury time. Sorry, in extra time. The extra 30 minutes, they'll be allowed 2.
So just to clarify for everyone, as it stands, West Ham have made 4 substitutions, having brought on Diop for Ogbonna, Johnson for Bowen, Fredericks then for Diop, who was only on the field for about 30 minutes, and then finally Odebeku coming on. But if it goes to extra time, we're just in Rama warm up actually, aren't we? If it goes to extra time, we can make a 5th change. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, just a little bit late, but we got the throw in anyway. It looks like Ben Rama. Now I'm getting confused because I thought we'd used up all our subs unless there was a head injury, because you get the 3, and we've had the 3 plus a concussion sub. So I think they're getting Ben Rama ready. I mean, we can bring Ben Rama on in extra time, That's
He's
offside.
off. Surely he's off.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, are we therefore suggesting that Gnome, that Ben Rama is getting ready early in preparation for extra time?
I wouldn't have thought we could come on now. It was my understanding of it, but I'm sure somebody will update us and tell us if I'm miscalculating.
Okay.
You're allowed 3 subs plus a concussion sub. We've had the 3 ordinary subs. We've had ordinary subs were Odebeku one for Yarmolenko, because that was just a straightforward injury. We've had Diop on for Ogbonna, straightforward injury. Well,
there you go.
I'm confused. And maybe we're allowed 5 in a cup match already.
Well, according to Dan B on YouTube, he says it is 5 in the cup. Mark English backing that up by saying it's 5 subs plus 1 concussion sub. Now, if that's the case, we can still make another one if there's anyone left to come on, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Fair enough.
The coach driver's actually getting changed as we speak. My moment has come. Yeah.
I'd like to point out we've got form for making substitution in cups and balls in it up.
Yeah. So you're expecting a free kick out just outside the box for them, then, are you, Pinky? And you're going to be a special teams draft excluder.
89 minutes gone almost. It's still Manchester United nil, West Ham United nil. We're edging towards extra time here, unless there's a late dramatic goal for either team. It's been a very, very quiet game, really. I mean, there's the only 2 saves really of note have been both from Fabianski, one pushing a shot, a deflected shot onto the post, and then that great save at the feet of Martial in the second half. But apart from that, Manchester United have been very, very limited, and West Ham have done a superb job defensively. Ben Rama coming on to, one would presume, hopefully offer a little more impetus at the other end of the pitch. Fornal has been very quiet so far tonight. But anyway, Manchester United looking to force it before full time. A cross coming in from the left-hand side, but that's a meat and drink for Fabianski, who clutches it gratefully into his arms. Tellez' cross way too close to the goalkeeper. And it's been a bit like that all night, hasn't it, really, Rio? Manchester United not looking dangerous in the air at all, yet putting plenty of crosses in.
I thought they'd test us with their pace. I thought they'd test us by exploiting us down the flanks. They've done nothing. Barring the 2 world-class saves from Fabianski, one come from a set piece, one was a bit scrappy in the box. They've really not tested us at all. We've defended so well. It's an incredibly proud performance from our lot tonight. Now, you can't deny that the likes of Dawson, Kofel, Rice, Noble have all been exemplary. They've actually worked their nuts off. Yeah, it's a performance to be proud of. Whatever happens here, we've got 2 minutes of time.
Yeah, 2 minutes called. We're well into the first one now as the snow begins to come down a little bit faster than it had done previously. So very, very cold night up there in Manchester. But it looks like we're going to have another half hour of action, Pinky. Only a minute or so to go for either side to take it. And it looks like, as we said, that Mark Noble, who hasn't played a full game really yet this season, is... well, hang on, we're watching West Ham build. It's played out on the left to Johnson. The ball's cannoned off defender. And West Ham have a corner. Pinky, real chance to nick it right at the end here. Wouldn't this be a great time to score?
Absolutely. This is what, did I not mention getting a winner in the 93rd minute or something like that? Who's got the biggest backside in our team? Just get him up there. Dawson, it must be. Get him up there. And, left cheek, right cheek, I don't care.
It's doing
just
traditional role from deep.
Well, here it comes. Ben Rama. Oh, no, the referee says, wait a minute. Gnome, do you want to take us through this? What's going to be the last attack of the game?
A VAR check here.
Oh, it's a handball. It's a handball, surely.
I think it came off there. I think Eddie's had him up under there. Anyway, corner comes across. And, scrappily cleared there from Man United. As we hit the last 15 seconds of stoppage. And Odebeku fixed the ball off. Let's just see that again, because that may have been a chance. it was Dawson headed it basically across goal rather than towards it. Great effort from Dawson. Just couldn't get the angle on it, and Souček might have been coming in, but he was blocked. The ball was blocked off, and that's your full time.
There it is. Full time whistle blows. Yeah. Craig, what a chance! Craig Dawson getting just a glancing header. Needed a bit more of a nut on that one, but we are going to be playing 30 minutes extra time. It's Manchester United 0, West Ham United 0 after 90 minutes. Nothing between the two teams. West Ham with a real chance to nick it at the end there, but Craig Dawson unfortunately couldn't quite get a full header on Said Ben Rama's cross. No, let's rewind a little bit, another 30 seconds or so before that. Now we saw Johnson's cross come in. I thought I saw a hand there.
The hand was up. I don't think. I mean, it's one of those ones that if it actually connected with the hand, you're asking the question: is the hand in a natural position as you slide in to block a ball? Is it? Maybe, maybe not. But I think the whole thing was academic. I think if you saw it again, I think it hit him under there rather than on the arm. So I don't think that was a penalty, not for me anyway.
What's the situation with VAR tonight? Do we have VAR?
Yeah, it's there. I think in the FA Cup, it's in use at any ground that's got it. So basically Premier League.
Yeah, I was going to say, because there was a situation last night, I believe, where there was a contentious moment and there was no VAR, but that must have been, I'm trying to think who it was now, but I was reading the report today and they said that, that VAR wasn't in use. So, that's always struck me as slightly odd, isn't it, that, the fact that VAR is available, but only where it's been used before. That doesn't seem, entirely fair.
Yeah, I think VAR requires, some form of equipment to be sort of permanently installed at the grounds. You've got to have your screen there. You've got to have that feed into the trucks. You've got to have the feed to Stockley Park. Yeah, all up and running, and with the best will in the world, if you're at Yeovil Town or somewhere, if they installed it there, it would just gather dust. This little point. So they've shown that Fabianski save there, which was something else. From Rashford, but
great.
I think we played well. Second half, we did a lot of absorbing, but it was kind of almost rope-a-dope territory. For those who remember Muhammad Ali, it was, they didn't really look like sort of laying too many gloves on us. Second half, we were, again, you'll probably see some form of stats showing territory, but there was a lot more of the game was played in their half. So, if we come away with a draw from this in the league game, you'd say, well, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Manchester United just about to make another change. And I'll tell you what, guys, can I leave you to do that? Because I need to do what Rio's just done.
Okay.
otherwise I'm gonna struggle for 30 minutes.
Old age hits you hard, there it is. Gnome's done 2 hours and that's enough. Rio, nice to see. We just saw a shot there of Mark Noble putting his arm around Said Ben Rama and giving a little bit of a psychological boost, hopefully giving you a little tap on the shoulder saying, come on. It's where you need people like Mark Noble, isn't it, at times like this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic tonight. Pinky alluded it to earlier, like he gets a lot of stick, but tonight he's stepped up to the mark and he's led by example. He had an absolutely fantastic game. And that experience, that little cajoling of the newcomers to the squad, the youngsters, it goes a long way. It says a lot about Gnomes as a captain and a person, that he's trying to eke the best out of the squad he has with him.
We've just seen a couple more changes there. I saw Wan-Bissaka being replaced by Shaw, Pinky. There was another one at least. I don't know if you caught where it was.
One of their young lads, really young lads, has come on.
Tellez going off, was it? The fullback. Was it Tellez who was replaced, the fullback?
I think so, yeah. And can't swear to who the young lad coming on is. Let me check Red Cafe, they'll know.
Okay. As it is anyway, we are into extra time. It's Manchester United 0, West Ham United 0. As Manchester United look to break on the left-hand side. The ball's played into the box. It's picked up and played in a little 1-2, but Soufal is there. Oh, that's a lovely little touch by Declan Rice to dance round his man and win a free kick. Great stuff from the Hammers. Starting as we finished 90 minutes, Rio, firm, solid at the back and affording Manchester United no space at all.
Yeah, and Declan Rice showing his class once again. Very casual, but very intelligent the way he used the ball there to get out of that little bit of trouble. I've gone full circle. Before the game, I was full of despondency. I thought we was going to get absolute hiding. I'm beginning to think we're going to nick this. I really do. I haven't been impressed by Man United and the way they've operated and the way they've used the ball. They've able to hit a lot of crosses, been very wasteful. And we've grown into this game, and despite all the changes, we're fitting not square pegs into round holes. We produced a really, really professional and dogged performance. And dare I say it, I thought we was on the up in the second half. Now we could have nicked it at the end there a couple of times. I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful.
Good. That's what we like to hear. Let's hope that the players are as hopeful as we are. And, you would expect Gnome having sort of, survived. It wasn't really an onslaught at all, was it? Or a barrage of shots from the opposition. It's been quite comfortable for the Hammers so far. They've got every reason to be confident, haven't they, going into extra time now?
Yeah, we need to be. We need to just carry on doing what we've been doing, basically. Let's that second half was a good second half, and just be watchful. And Odebeku there, we'd have hoped for a little bit more from him there, where the ball was played up to him. He sort of immediately lost it, but try and play a long ball, but that's all the way through.
Sorry, guys. Pinky, was that the sub? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Brandon Williams is the young lad that's come on.
So that was Tellez off, Wan-Bissaka off, replaced by Shaw and Williams.
Yeah.
So I'm rapidly losing touch now of the subs. Let's have a look. So that's Shaw, Williams, Cavani's come on, Fernandes and McTominay. So I make that 5 for Manchester United, 5 for West Ham. It's difficult to keep track of this, isn't it, at the moment? It's 16 players used by each team. Anyway, is that a record 32 players in one game?
It's beginning to look like one of those pre-season friendlies or an England friendly where both sides agree. Hang on, it's Man United.
Oh, well done.
Well, it's good covering there, but where both sides agree that you can make so many substitutes. Who was it now? Somebody scored a hat-trick in an international match, and to be told that it doesn't actually officially count because they the sides had agreed that that each team could make 8 subs or something, and they were only allowed 6 to make the game official. Corner comes in anyway. It's headed away by Rice, who puts the press on. It's played out left now, so Manchester United looking to get the cross in, and that eludes pretty much everyone. It's cleared again at the back, but now Odebeku.
Yeah, just looking a little bit
more pace on him there to sort of keep them honest.
Yeah. One thing I am noticing is that the pace seems to be slowing down a little bit. West Ham, perhaps getting a little bit deeper again, Rio, as we might have been, in that first half. We felt that the Hammers sat too deep for that first 25, 30 minutes, and sort of regressing a little bit again now, perhaps.
Yeah, I think that's partly because Manchester United have thrown the kitchen sink, haven't they? Got Fernandes, Cavani, and a lot of the big guns come on. We're probably going to be showing signs of wear and tear and a little bit of tiredness. So it's understandable, but we can hit them on the break. They've looked exposed a couple of times. You just never know what's going to happen. And we've dealt with everything so far exemplary. I can't fault the defensive work tonight at all. Every man out there has done the job.
Yeah, speaking about defensive work, I think it was impressive to see. I think was that Said Benrahma just coming back to ensure that ball didn't come across. It was, yeah.
It's good work there.
Mark Noble still looks reasonably fit, which is good to see. 96 or must be over 100 minutes now, given the added on time at the end of each half. I think we had 3 minutes and then 2, didn't we? So 5:95. That's 101st minute of the game for Mark Noble.
He'll be doing one of those hair adverts, won't he? You know, pretty soon you'll see him on the telly, and it'll be, if you want to look good after just 2 hours of football, try light tint. Yeah,
The Phil Parks Cossack adverts.
yes.
Because he's worth it, and he's
One for the kids there.
6 minutes of extra time. It's a little bit early, but soon, I guess, gentlemen, we're going to have to start talking about penalties and penalty takers. I think we'll wait till at least there's another 10, 15 minutes played. But bear that one in mind anyway. I mean, we're it's absolutely guaranteed who one of our penalty takers is going to be anyway, because the club's possibly the club's best ever penalty taker in its history is on the pitch. Although Ray Stewart and Julian Dix might potentially disagree, but. The record of Mark Noble certainly stands up with anyone's anyway. But we're just a slight low. West Ham with a free kick, and the boys played down the left, looking towards Thomas Souček, who loses out again. But that's given away to Ben Rama. Ben Rama moves the ball out to the left. Declan Rice can go wider. Oh, it's unfortunate. Manchester United on the break now, Gnome.
Yeah, Declan Rice, first touch let him down a bit now, and ball's on the edge of our box, played onto the overlap, chipped in. Now, snapshot from the edge of the box, and it's I think Williams is that has broken the deadlock. Well, bit harsh on us that really, But I said earlier on in the game, if we're pushing forward, and we need to be a little bit careful on the break, and lo and behold, that's what happened. Declan was the one who, unfortunately, his touch let him down. After some good work from Barama, his first touch let him down, and they've got 4 against 4 there. Played on the overlap. It's headed up and out by Cresswell. Good little touch there from it's Rashford, isn't it, inside, and. It's the one time they've actually been given a bit of space in the box.
Pinky, Manchester United 1, West Ham United 0. Going to be an uphill struggle for the Hammers now to get back into this.
Yeah, you think so, because the clock's against us now, and it's unfortunate. I mean, there's a heavy touch by Declan when we were attacking. On another day, he has a surer touch. And we score, so to speak, because we were building a nice little attack there. But, we conceded the goal. What have we got now? 20 minutes to get a goal back. Could happen, if we be positive. It's not lost yet, but the hill's just got steeper.
Oh. Well, Ben Rama got a dangerous cross in there, which strangely Henderson elected to punch out, but fortunately for them, unfortunately for us, it didn't go out to one of our players. That wasn't the greatest bit of goalkeeping you'll ever see. And now Manchester United are going to start playing the ball across from side to side again, and again building. Again, we're sort of having to defend well here. Just one of those things, really. I think on the balance of the play in the 90 minutes, I think that's 1-0 down, a little bit harsh on us.
Yeah, but it is, as they say, what it is. West Ham need to find a goal from somewhere, Rio. And before we do that, we need to find a shot on target. We haven't had one in the whole match yet.
No, I mean, I think our best chance is going to come from a set piece, but where we're so much under the cosh and we're on the back foot a little bit, it's trying to break away and get possession and force something. But when we have got the ball and we have got delivery in, Souček has not been in the areas that we need him to be. He's always been, as you mentioned earlier, he's been the right-hand side too many times. So when we do get a chance to get down the flanks, we need Souček to be in the middle and not hovering on the right-hand side, putting the crosses in himself.
Yeah. Well, there's a chance now. Ben Rama picks it up. He's playing it in a clever little ball in, looking for Souček, but just too far for Souček, and he knows
Too much.
agonisingly close for the Hammers. But Pinky, it shows, I guess, at least.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to give Said Benrahma huge credit there, because a month ago he'd have pulled the trigger himself and tried the worldie from 22, 23 yards. He could see he had a player who was in better position, and he tried to play the ball through to him. So didn't quite come off, but at least his decision making seems to be improving. So fair play. Didn't happen then, but we've still got 20 odd minutes left. Can still do something.
Yeah, still plenty of time. 11 minutes gone in the first half of extra time here as Manchester United look to break on the left.
The hand there, though, surely, yeah.
It was a chance, but as a handball coming in from Martial, and the danger goes. 4 minutes left till half time in extra time. Manchester United lead, West Ham United nil. David Moyes, Gnome, has got to come up with something here, and he's played pretty much every card he's got in the deck so far tonight, and some as well. Having been forced to make several changes, what do you do as Moyes now, apart from cross your fingers and pray to whatever deity it is you believe in?
I don't think there's much he can do. I wouldn't bring subs on for the hell of it. I mean, if you've got somebody out there who's clearly feeling it, you don't want them to get injured. And I've lost count of how many we got left now. But you just keep playing. I think you play out the game with the team that's on here now. As just lost the ball there. That was, I think, Soufal rarely loses the ball. Again, played on the overlap, but again, half a yard of pace too much on the ball for Martial, and goal kick to West Ham. But that's where we've got to be careful. It's when we are pushing, either when the ball's up in their area or on the edge. We mustn't lose it halfway, because you're always playing catch up. And dare I say it, watching Noble running back there, I think he's beginning to feel the game at the moment. He's playing a lot of catch up there.
Of course, we believe there is the option for one more substitute to be made. Just looking through the 9 men on the bench at the start, only 4, of course, left who haven't come on. Nathan Trott in goal, Fabian Balbuena in the centre half, and another centre half in Frederick Alves. And West Ham's, or David Moyes' only remaining attacking option, Rio, is Manuel Lanzini. Q, another wonder goal from the Argentinian to save the game, perhaps?
I'd absolutely love it. He's had a difficult season again, Manu, apart from that wonder strike against Tottenham. If anyone's going to come on there and do it, though, you've got to be looking at him, haven't you? There's the only viable option we have. There's a couple of tired legs creeping in the midfield, so maybe it's not out of the question he's going to get an entrance. And just now, you've got a dream, haven't you? You've got a dream. We deserve something from this. We really do. We played so well, given all the circumstances. Everything's gone against us. And we're not out of it yet. There's 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, of course. It just takes, as I often say on these streams, just one chance is all it takes. And, it can change the game. And West Ham looking for that one chance now as the ball's played out, a very good pass out to the right. To Fredericks, who plays it back and just fails to communicate properly with Soufal. But West Ham retain possession and look to build again from the back. The ball's on the left-hand side with Cresswell, who plays it into the middle to Noble, who plays it back to Cresswell, as he's wont to do. Played back inside to Souček, who reverts to Dawson, plays it outright now to Soufal. And the Hammers looking to play the ball into the opposition half, which they've done. Good spell of possession this for West Ham. Let's hope it reaps an end product. We're in the last 30 seconds of the first half of extra time now. If it's going to happen before the whistle, the Hammers need to get this ball forward fairly quickly. Mark Noble looks up, doesn't have any options on, turns back the other way, plays it inside to Dawson. Dawson looks to the right, plays it out wide to Fredericks, who looks down the line for options. There's not really anything on, and the ball's played out for a West Ham throw-in. That's 15 minutes of extra time up, and 1 minute added on. Take us through the last minute of the half, if you will.
Yeah, a number of times Noble's on, like at the moment, Noble's on the ball, and he's looking for options, and he's struggling to find them. And This might be one of those occasions where, I mean, given the cup game and hell or bust sort of thing, Rice has proved the depth of bringing the ball in from deep. Why not? As Johnson gets unceremoniously hacked to the floor by Williams, who didn't score a goal. Tommy, I did say Williams, but they all look alike to me, Man United players. So. Well, last chance to think before the whistle goes for this.
And I think this one's going to be going long because Dawson's made his way into the box. There it goes.
That keeper's going to have that, isn't he? Yeah, straight down the keeper's throat, and that'll be your half time of extra time, I should think. Yeah, there you go. So, disappointing. In terms of the fact that we're 1-0 down. Hey, we played better going this way in the second half of normal time. So, 15 minutes left. Go out there, go for it.
Go for it, says Gnome. We are
but preferably twice.
Yes, that would be even better. 105 minutes into this enthralling cup tights. Manchester United 1, West Ham United 0. The deadlock broken in the 97th minute by substitute McTominay. He had only been on the field since the 73rd minute when he replaced Van der Beek, and he's made the difference with the only goal of the game. Manchester United 15 shots in the match so far. That was only their third effort on target. West Ham, of course, only 2 shots at goal, one of those being a blocked effort, and still yet to conjure up a shot on target. But if the Hammers are going to remain in the FA Cup this year, Rio, we need to do that in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're short of numbers now, short of legs, and look like we could be short of confidence because little heads kind of dropped there. I'm looking at them, they're just regrouping them to drink before they go out in the second half of extra time. Not a few glum faces and heads dropping, but it's not over. We've got 15 minutes. We've not been outclassed in this game at all. We've probably been a better side in the first 90. We just dropped too deep in this opening period of the extra time. And it's a bit of slack play. The first thing that Declan's done wrong all game, really. Lost possession, the edge of their box. And like Liverpool did to us the other week. Quick pace. And eventually it squirted its way into the box. And McTominay finished. Decent finish and he hit it early. So, Fabianski was a bit off balance, I think, and didn't get down to set himself properly. But it's not over yet. Let's get a last-minute corner, send Fab up to get in the box and let him get the equaliser. That'll make my night.
We are underway in the second half of extra time at Old Trafford. West Ham United trading to Manchester United by 1-0. The only goal coming in the 97th minute of the game, the 7th minute of extra time. The Hammers, 15 minutes to save our place in the FA Cup. This year, Pinky, we've got Mark Noble out there who's, just coming up to 2 hours on the pitch, having not played a single full Premier League game, I think, this season. And you're beginning to look around and see it's all getting a bit leggy. But Rio said it, it only takes one chance. That's all we need.
Yeah, absolutely. But spare a thought for the 3 outfield players on our bench who haven't been used. Because you know what? If another substitute is allowed, then you're down to just 2 outfield players who will each be looking at each other going, I hope I get picked. I hope he thinks I'm a better option than him. You're that sinking feeling. I mean, you'd know this, Graham, when you were a kid. And that, you jumpers for goalposts and people are picking teams and you were last every week, obviously. And if you just happen to be the one over player, and as well, sorry, we've got 9 aside now. You're not getting a game. That's what it could be tonight. So you'll have Balbrainer there and Lanzini. They'll be looking at each other in kind of a head-to-head shootout. Who does the manager like the least? And I'm thinking that actually he'll probably stick Balbrainer on up top rather than introduce Lanzini.
Yeah, maybe. Well, actually, you saying that brings back some very unhappy memories because I do recall as a 12-year-old, I spent a brief season at a team from Wickford who were absolutely fantastic and won everything. And I do recall going to the cup final and being the only sub, and I didn't get on the pitch at all. And they won the game, but didn't feel
great
like
goalkeeping from Fabianski there. There's Shaw getting on the end of a through ball. We haven't really started well this half. With Manchester United keeping the ball well, through ball to Shaw, but Fabianski was again anticipating it well before Shaw was they got their first good goalkeeping.
Yeah, 13 minutes left to go. West Ham need that goal from somewhere. Odobiko Gnome has been on the pitch since the 54th minute. It was really being highly talked up, but it's difficult. Anyway, we saw Yarmolenko, an experienced international, struggle to make an impact in this game. It's going to be really tough for an 18-year-old kid making his debut, but been pretty anonymous so far, hasn't he? And not really had a chance at all, really.
It's I don't think he's the kind of striker you'd normally expect to see on his own up front. Couple of times where it's come back off him a little bit too easily, but yeah, it's difficult. I mean, got to cut him some slack, I think. And Fredericks on the right wing nearly takes it up and keeps it in. Soufal does well, brings Fredericks back in the game, who keeps the ball.
Go wide.
And some good work there between Fredericks and Soufal. And Benrahma's now trying to make stuff happen. Eventually lays the ball off when he gets surrounded. But okay, so the first spell in the second half of extra time, we actually kept the ball for more than a few seconds. So let's see what we can do here. Nearly a nice ball from Benrahma, but again, not quite right. And it's out on Manchester United's right wing, but they're going to be content to play keep ball for the time being, which they now start to do. But yeah, it is tough for the kid, and I know. I'd just like to see him try and make a few things happen. Buzz about a bit, you're up there on your own. Manchester United are playing amongst the back four when they've got it. Make a couple of runs, make a defender play it once or twice.
Rio, sorry, no, I'm cutting you off there.
Carry on.
Rio, would it have made any difference tonight if that's Sebastian Haller out there instead of an 18-year-old debutant?
I think it would have done, to be honest. Definitely. Playing the lone striker role was difficult enough. We saw an international and a £45 million man struggle with that role much of the season.
Oh, it's Balbreda he hates. Oh, unlucky. The general relegated to the corporal.
I think we were 1-0 up. He might have been on.
Yeah. Because you're looking at, let's stay with this for a minute. The ball's out on the left to Johnson, who floats one into the middle, looking for Souček, who nods the ball on, looking for someone in the middle. There's no one there. The ball's cleared by Manchester United. Now they'll look to break again. the point I'm making there, of course, is let's stick with this for a minute, because Martial's stolen the ball off Soufal, and he goes towards the box. That's a poor ball, and Cresswell's done really well to pick that out. It's really opening up now, this game, Pinky, and West Ham looking to break now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Benrahma on the ball, plays it out wide. Fredericks on the overlap.
Come on.
Cross call for no. He cuts it back to Benrahma, trying to make something happen. Plays it back to Fredericks, puts in a bit of a floaty one, and Manchester United recover possession there. But yeah, it's pretty open now. And would Seb Haller have made a difference tonight? No, he'd actually be in the dugout still, and actually the manager would have sent on Balbuena, because that's how low Haller's stock had fallen by the end of his time at West Ham. File him under a mistake that was tidied up, a very expensive mistake, but I don't think David Moyes' judgment has been proven to be wrong on that one. I think it's proven to be absolutely right.
Yeah.
Haller would have started today, I think.
Well, the point I'm making with this is that, of course, we've complained about the fact that we haven't replaced Haller, or at least brought anyone in that attacking position in, given that Michail Antonio is the squad's only recognised striker, and he's obviously a converted winger. The point I'm trying to make is this the first example of the Ball's policy the transfer window policy actually coming back to bite us on the pitch in the fact that it looks like
I don't think it's the first occasion it's come back to bite us. You know, I think it's possibly the most obvious in the sense of, you know, when we've had to play Odebico there, you know, and it's never nice when you're a sub who gets subbed. But, you know, he's not had any great impact on the game at all. And it'd be unfair to expect him to have too much, because away at Manchester United, you know, there you go. Show us what you can do. It's a big ask, isn't it? And I'm afraid, you know, from the chairman's perspective, he'll look at this and he'll go, it's only the FA Cup. What do you get for winning it? A couple of £1 million. That's the, you know, that's the same as one place in the league. And unfortunately, that's what pretty much every club in the land is up against when they have chairmen or owners who just say the money's more important than the glory. And that's what's really wrong with the game. That's the disappointment for me. But West Ham playing some good stuff here at the minute.
Yeah, Frederick's in a dangerous position out left to Ben Johnson, Gnome.
Johnson's squaring up for a shot there, but couldn't find the space. So we're now out on the right-hand side with Soufal. Cuts inside. Cross goes over the left foot, but it's dealt with. Out to Rice on the edge of the box. Finds Benrahma with a clever little ball. Benrahma plays it in. We've got Lanzini out left. Johnson again. Cross comes in.
Go on!
That might be the chance there. Some good little spell of possession for West Ham. And again, clever play from Benrahma. Lanzini gets the ball. I think Benrahma may just have had an arm offside, something like that, a toenail or something, had it come to it. But I'd like to see them sort of test Henderson more with that header, because he had all the space in the world. Clearly not one of footballers' natural headers, I think.
I'm going to criticise.
Now sort of playing it through. Again, blocked on the edge of the box, and Rice does well, and Noble tidies up. So Benrahma.
I'm going to criticise Benrahma there, Gnome, because I think that's poor from him. You know, to be offside in that position, you should be able to see the line. The player's in front of you. You shouldn't be offside in that position.
Yeah, and you should certainly do better with the header. Just had a point there where if Souček could have held himself on side, Benrahma's ball would have been perfect, but Souček realised he was off, and there's no way he could chase that. 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I mean, the thing there with Benrahma being offside at the vital moment, that's the difference when you've stepped up a level. Suddenly the defenders you're playing against are A, better players, and B, generally better organised. You know, you're not going to get obvious errors by the defensive team too frequently, and they'll be more than capable of just stepping forward in the blink of an eye and playing a forward offside. Yeah, I wouldn't be too harsh on Benny there. Give him time to adjust.
Just over 4 minutes to go for West Ham to find a goal here at Old Trafford. Manchester United leading 1-0. The only goal coming 7 minutes into extra time from McTominay, the substitute, the 73rd minute substitute, scoring with pretty much Manchester United's only real effort of the match. West Ham have been disciplined, worked hard, but it looks like, unless there's a late change, you're going to come away from nothing and be out of the FA Cup. There's, as I say, just under 4 minutes left to go as Manchester United have possession. West Ham need to get the ball back, Rio, and do something with it. We can't, time's running out now. We need that ball. We need to get our foot on the ball.
Yeah, Man United look pretty comfortable. They're knocking about. They're killing time, just trying to eke out through tired legs and tired minds. A little bit of space in the left here for them. Shot saved by Fabianski. Yeah, we've got to conjure up a little bit of magic from somewhere. You would have thought that Benrahma would be one to supply it, but he's made a couple of poor decisions the last 10 minutes or so. So yeah, I'm struggling to see where the goal is going to come from. We really need to get up into the area, trying to force a set piece somewhere, but it's just not happening at the minute.
That's a clever bit of
Ben
skill from
Rahman's
Ben
done well
Rahman
to
there.
retain possession there, having fallen over, but he managed to get up and keep possession. So, yeah, it's rather comical because he just fell over his own legs, but nobody came to challenge him while he was down. So, he just got himself up and took the ball away.
3 minutes, less than 3 minutes left to go for the Hammers to find an equaliser. Can we do it? Can West Ham United get back into this game here at Old Trafford? There's just one goal. That's all it needs. One chance as Lanzini picks up the ball 25 yards from goal, retains possession. Ben Rama looks up. Will he spread it wide? He will. He's going to look for Soufal. Soufal can keep it in, but it's just too much for him. And unfortunate there. That's pretty much it. We're down to the realms now, I guess, Gnome, of one last chance really for the Hammers if it comes.
Yeah, we're up. It's just coming up 2 minutes. Well, BBC have given Harry Maguire man of the match, which as Henderson decides to go dribbling in his own penalty area there, which that'll give him some encouragement for the last 1 minute and 50 seconds. Maguire's been given man of the match, testament to the fact that we've made their defender play. So that should tell you a lot if you're looking at this. Yeah, come on, one last glory hunt. And Fredericks comes inside but doesn't control it too well, and the ball's back with Man United again. Soufal's harrying, but that'll be a free kick, yeah. I think Soufal's more annoyed with himself than anything else for being suckered into that. All he needed to do was stand his ground and not let the player turn. But you get a sight of the ball and you want to stick a foot in, don't you?
David Moyes looking
final minute now.
He's played every card in his pack, Moyes, tonight. 6 substitutes. 5 for Manchester United, so a total of 33 players used on the pitch this afternoon, which, as we were saying earlier, must be some kind of record for a non-friendly fixture, you would think. But Rio, it looks like that's game up for the Hammers now.
Yeah, but man, you just put the ball out of play. This really is last chance 11. 30 seconds to go. Kufel throws it back towards Dawson, who's going to give it back to Fabianski to try and get the ball upfield as quick as we can. But yeah, things looking desperate now, and Man United just won the ball back, and then they're outside their area.
Great tackle.
Yeah. Johnson picks up the ball. Foul by Manchester United. We're in the last 5 seconds of normal time now. So this really is the last punt of the game.
They're adding the standard minute for extra time. So really, last chance saloon. Fabianski to launch it. Ideally, you want him up there to be on the end of it as well, but launched into Rice. Lovely ball out left. Now then, can we get it in? Benrahma loses the ball, and I think that's the game gone. Man United will just dribble that down the corner for the last 30 seconds, and that'll be a lot. So, well, we've done well to win it back there, but I think we're 20 seconds left. Well, not much is going to happen in that. I think because Man United launched the ball deep into West Ham territory again, played back to Fabianski.
Yeah,
one last launch, and again we don't get past the halfway line, and Man United are going to. Well, they're in the box. And as we're in a stoppage, added stoppage, and that's a great save to prevent it being a totally unrealistic 2-0, and that'll be the end of the game. It is. Fabianski, fine save at the end there.
Full-time whistle has blown at Old Trafford. The match is finished. Manchester United 1, West Ham United 0. The only goal of the game coming 7 minutes into extra time from McTominay, the Manchester United substitute. The Hammers are out of the FA Cup at the 5th round. David Moyes using 6 of his 9 substitutes on the night. West Ham beset by injury before the game and sustained even more injuries in the game as early as the 16th minute when, Angelo Ogbonna went down injured and had to be replaced. Diop, his replacement, eventually having to be replaced. As I said, the Hammers out of the FA Cup. It's been a valiant performance, but at the end, it's just not quite been enough. Manchester United go on to the 6th round. Pinky, your thoughts on the final whistle? Pinky's on the phone, telling someone else his thoughts on the final whistle. So, Gnome, let's come back to you, buddy, first of all. Manchester United won, West Ham United nil. The Hammers out of the FA Cup, but, you know, we were unlucky on the night. There wasn't much between the sides.
Sorry, I'm on the phone.
Is there anyone left? No. Oh, he has actually gone on mute. I thought he was joking. Well, Rio, it's Rio, it's you and me then. Hopefully, you're not on the phone or Manchester United won. West Ham United. Is there anybody out there? We've suffered the same fate as David Moyes' West Ham tonight. They're all dropping like flies on the pitch at Old Trafford. They're dropping like flies down here at KUMBTV. Fortunately, we still have got Rio left though. So, Rio, what do you make of it?
It's a tough one to take. That. I mean, I started off the night full of doom and gloom, thinking we're going to get 3 or 4-0 hiding. They played all their pacier forwards. I thought it was going to exploit us down the flanks, through the middle with the pace, because we aren't the quickest at the back at times. But the first 30 minutes was a bit like Rock's Drift, but only the Zulus this time round didn't have spears, they had kazoos, because they huffed and puffed and didn't create a lot, Manchester United. You know, we slowly grew into the game. The second half, we was by far the better side.
Yeah.
We just couldn't get that chance. When we did get the opportunities, we found the wrong players in the wrong positions. We found Souček more on the right-hand side. A couple of times he put the crosses in. You want him, with his aerial prowess, in the box causing the havoc, if not heading the ball, creating a space for somebody else, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Start the extra time period. We looked a little bit leggy, a little bit tired. We dropped deep and deep. Eventually, they got their chance. But that come from the first thing that Declan Rice did wrong all game. Sloppy bit of play on the edge of their box. They break away with pace really quickly. Ends up McTominay firing home. But given the circumstances, given the players at our disposal, given the fact we had 2 or 3 injuries, we had a massive rejig at half-time. We had to throw in a young kid up front who never played a minute of first-team football in his life. We produced a really dogged, resolute, and disciplined performance. And no, I'm proud of the way we performed tonight.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect, but we did a job. And I thought it was unlucky to come away with a defeat there. I mean, I thought we deserved at least to take it to the penalty shootout. But it just wasn't to be. But I'm proud of the lads. I'm proud of the way that we defended, and I'm proud of the way that we responded to the adversity we suffered all night.
There it is, Rio's post-match summary as West Ham go out of the FA Cup at the 5th round stage, going down 1-0 to Manchester United. I feel rather disappointed, Pinky, to be honest with you. At the start of the game, I was sort of expecting us to lose tonight because of the fact that, Antonio was out and, 1 or 2 other players needed resting and were perhaps not fully fit, having played so many games. But I kind of feel a bit disappointed now because we put in a performance there and we worked and matched them for pretty much 120 minutes. Disappointing.
Yeah. And disappointing, but at the same time, we can take some comfort from the fact that we competed. We didn't roll over. We caused them a few problems, not too many significant ones, it must be said. I wouldn't gild the lily too much in terms of us peppering Henderson with work all night. But yeah, we stayed in the game. But how many times do you have to say it? It's a wafer-thin squad. And what I'd say is, if Antonio started that tonight, we'd have won that tonight. But equally, a Manchester United supporter could say, yeah, but if we played Fernandes from the start, we'd have won more comfortably. And it's one of those. It was always going to be reasonably close. But but it just exposed yet again the paucity of options that David Moyes has at his disposal compared with his counterpart. I mean, tonight, you know, not a precise sum, but Manchester United's fullbacks probably cost more than our entire starting 11. There wouldn't be a lot in it, you know, and that's the difference between the resources that the managers have. But of the players he could put on the field tonight, I thought the second half we competed very well indeed. Probably had the better of the second half. The goal we conceded, it was unfortunate. I mean, we were attacking. There you go, with committed men forward. A heavy touch from Declan. It happens. They tore up field, and it still needed a moment of magic from Marcus Rashford just to lay the ball on for McTominay, just to hit it first time and stick it past Fabianski. So a good goal by them, but in no way did we disgrace ourselves tonight. I thought we competed. Disappointed, yes, but I'm afraid if your club is structured in a way where the chairman will only fund sufficiently to stay in the Premier League, this is what you get. We need more. We deserve more as supporters. I don't think I could blame the manager tonight. I think he put out the best team he could. We could debate Ben Rama and Noble, what have you, but Noble, I don't think, put a foot wrong tonight. Benny gave the ball away 4 or 5 times in the time he was on the pitch. And yeah, I can live with that because he's trying to make things happen. But really, the manager played just about every player he could, bar Fabian Balbuena. I mean, he's the only outfield player not to get a game.
Yeah.
You know, Alvarez maybe, but basically we're really. The difference is Manchester United are bringing on Luke Shaw as a fullback. You know, at what 40 million quid they paid for him whenever they did. Bruno Fernandes, you know, to make the difference. You know, Cavani, yeah, that's the quality that Solskjaer can call upon, and I'm afraid David Moyes didn't have that option. So we competed, but the bottom line, we're out of the cup. That's it. It's over.
It is over for another year. Unfortunately, that's West Ham's cup exploits for the season well and truly ended. Slightly disappointing, Gnome, but you know, we gave a good account of ourselves. But in terms of the manager, David Moyes, any criticism from you for the team you put out there at the start, and you know the timing and the personnel used for the substitutes? I think you may be on mute, buddy, actually. We can't hear you at the moment. There you go. Still can't hear you. We're just waiting for Gnome to hit the mute button there and let us know what his thoughts are post-match. For the record, we still can't hear you, Gnome. I'm afraid. I'm not quite sure why. For the record, we are going to make this a very short post-match review because obviously the game ran over for about 35 extra minutes, and I've already seen Rio yawning once or twice there. Understandably, it's been a long day for some of you guys working hard out there in the field. No, we still can't hear you, buddy. I'm not sure why. You're not on mute this end, but
it's divine intervention.
Gnome about to go and make a cup of coffee by the looks of it. Not quite sure what that one meant, but anyway, we are, man of the match. Let's do man. Gnome's gone off to try and presumably restart everything at Gnome Towers. Man of the match, Pinky, for you, for West Ham, who really stood out of the 16 players on show tonight? Or was it 17? 17, wasn't it in the end, not 16?
Who's I start with Fabianski, I have to say. 2 absolute top draw saves to keep us in the game, and you know, one down to his left whereby it had taken a wicked deflection off Cresswell's derriere, and you know, he got down, tipped it onto the post and sent it wide. And the other one, you know, he stood tall to Marcus Rashford, and you know, I'm sure I saw him mutter under his breath, you know, winner, winner, keep your dinner, after he kept Rashford at bay. And those 2 moments created the opportunity for us to actually stay in the game and keep battling away. So Fabianski would be my man of the match tonight. But as for 2 moments of genius, not because he was busy all night, because he wasn't. But the 2 bits he had to do, he excelled at, and he would be my man of the match this evening.
Great stuff. Fabianski for Pinky. Rio, who would you go for?
I was going to give it to the fourth official because the amount of subs he had to make, get the old balled up. I thought he was going to get RSI. Then I realised it was a certain person who contributed to our misery on Saturday, I believe. So, not for me. It's going to be Craig Dawson. I thought was absolutely outstanding once again today. Up against 3 very pacey forwards initially. Brought on Cavani. They didn't get a lot of change out of him at all. And after, I just thought he marshalled the defence really well. He lost his defensive partner in Ogbonna.
Yeah.
It didn't make a job of iota of difference to him. He absolutely superb at the back tonight.
Okay, good stuff. So 1 for Fabianski, 1 for Dawson. Gnome, thankfully we've got you back now. Who
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Right, I don't know what happened there. It was all caused by my mum ringing, despite the fact that I told her before, don't ring before, during, or after a game. And
Okay.
So I'll have to have words of which part of that doesn't she understand.
Well, hellos all round to Mrs. Gnome. I hope she's doing well, and Mr. Gnome as well. Man of the match for you, Gnome, tonight?
I'll go with Fabianski. Since Rio mentioned it, I would say a quick word about the referee. And if that was Mike Dean under the mask doing the fourth official, let's hope he watched Paul Tierney in action, because he had a fine game today. He was unobtrusive. He let the game flow. There were a couple of times when Man United players rather theatrically went to the floor. He wasn't having any of it. He just saw himself there as somebody to facilitate a game. And I thought he had an excellent game, Mr. Tierney. There may be the odd error in there. I don't know. I didn't spot any, but that was an object lesson in how to referee a football match. And it was the total opposite of what we saw at the weekend. So fair play to him. Let's hope that he doesn't get sort of swallowed up and told off for not doing certain minor things, which which the bureaucrats like to see happen.
Okay, so your man of the match tonight? Who would you?
Fabianski, as I said earlier on.
Fabianski,
yeah.
Put it in your diaries. There it is. Gnome praising to the hilt a match referee. Lovely to hear. Good stuff. But I agree with you. He did a fabulous job tonight, didn't he? Didn't put a foot wrong. My man of the match, I'm going to go for Mark Noble. Out there tonight, 2 hours, didn't do anything spectacular, but I don't think he put a foot wrong tonight. Moved the ball nicely, quickly, didn't sort of stifle our play at all, put in some big challenges when needed. And I'm just going to give it to him for the fact that he's barely played this season. And he came in and didn't look out of place. Mr. West Ham for me. So interesting to see a little bit of a spread then, really. For man of the match suggestions, the guys on watching us live on YouTube, Nick going for Ben Johnson, Mark English going for Mark Noble, Steve Law, Dawson, Sean West, Craig Dawson also, and Hobo also going for Dawson. So Dawson getting quite a few plaudits tonight. Before we end, gentlemen, we should dive in to the forums. I'm not sure if this is going to be a particularly good idea, Rio, from a couple of comments I've seen on the YouTube chat about the general atmosphere on the KUMB.com forum match thread this evening. But bring us the best and the worst, buddy, of what's been said over there right now.
Okay, yeah, there's it's not a particularly pleasant place to be tonight. There's a lot of criticism for Moyes, the way we set up, the team selection. He's also took a lot of grief over the substitution of Odebeke. Said it's destroying the lad. It's really not a happy place tonight. And there's not a lot of constructive criticism coming out. Just a lot of vitriol. Brother Nero's put, we played from penalties from the start. We showed no intent throughout and got what we deserved. Moyes once again showing why his record versus the big teams is so shocking. Even in the cup tie, he tries to play for goal difference. Hammer PDC. I'm really loath to slag the guy off, but the last 4 days has been a mighty fine mess from David Moyes. Strongest team at Fulham, gash your side out for one of the biggest games of the season. He got the lineup wrong, changed it at half time, take 2 subs on and off again. He's worked wonders for me, but the blame's got to lie squarely at his door. Vienna, pathetic performance, pathetic managers, ridiculous lineup, subs. Moyes got everything wrong tonight. Yeah, and that's about
That's harsh.
as good as it gets. And yeah, it's incredibly harsh, incredibly negative, and don't agree with any of that. Look at the defensive performance we put in tonight against what is what they said second in the league.
Yeah. Well, what did Greenwood do today? What did Rashford do today?
Exactly. Yep.
One touch, Rashford. Okay, we'll give you that one touch. But what did Martial do today?
We weren't out of that game until possibly the little slip up from Rice has just cost us. But
and also,
he was in that
I would
game.
just point out in the league, Manchester United are the top scorers in the league with 49 goals so far this season. I mean,
it took them extra time to get one past a makeshift defence that we had in the end. I can't. I'm not having that. I don't think Moyes could have put out a much different side to the one he did. I think the way the game was played was dictated by the way the opposition played, and I thought we handled that very well. It didn't look like the Liverpool game where it was rabbits in headlights. We always looked as if we could perhaps do something going forward. Second half, I thought we were a better side in the second half.
Yeah.
Without working Henderson enough. But so no, I think that sort of criticism is harsh this time. Yeah.
Of course, let's not
dare I
forget,
say, I think it's just a lot.
Sorry, Rio, go on.
Sorry. No, I just think there's a lot of knee-jerk reactionism. We've not had the best 2 performances. Look how well we played against Aston Villa last week.
Yeah,
We destroyed them playing free-flowing crisp football. We've got an incredibly small squad. We've had injuries tonight. We've had to leave players out because our main striker's unfit. Our only striker's unfit. We had to leave our loan signing out, who could have possibly played up top in a kind of a false number 9 role because he's obviously not eligible. We've got so very few options. And we was in that game from the word go,
Yeah.
We was under the cost for the first half hour, but after that we grew into it. We was the better side for much of it. And I think all the negativity on the forum tonight is completely unjust, completely undeserved, and he's not looking at the bigger picture. It's not a knee-jerk reactionism, which I completely am against in this instance.
Rio, do you think a lot? Sorry.
In play, I was more concerned that we were committing too many forward, and when we conceded the goal, is when our defensive midfielder has a heavy touch, 21, maybe 22 yards away from the Manchester United goal. Okay, so if that's the manager being negative or setting us up wrong, I could say maybe he has, because do you know what, Declan? You should be 20 yards deeper than that. If the manager was trying to just play I'll play for penalties card, Rice would not have been that far forward, and we would not have been trying to grab a goal. The fact that we were is partially contributing to why we lost. And I say partially because I wouldn't lay it all at Rice's door. He's had a heavy touch, but it happens. But it's more the fact that, could you imagine Jose Mourinho in those same circumstances? He wouldn't have his defensive midfielder that far forward up the pitch, because if he was, he wouldn't be playing the following week. So I think the criticism's being levelled at David Moyes there this evening. As disappointed as everyone is, I think they're harsh. I mean, come on, what are people expecting?
Do you think, gentlemen, that a lot of this criticism is from people who are just looking for an opportunity to criticise David Moyes? That it's not really a fair reflection on what we've seen tonight. I think we all agree that. Do you think this is just people kind of reverting to type, and it's like, I didn't want David Moyes at the beginning. I've been quiet while we've been doing well, and now is an opportunity for me to dig him out. Do you think there's an element of something in that? No.
I think there possibly is. That and the fact that there's been excuse me, an atmosphere of we're doing well in the league. You know, we've got a good place in the league, so why not throw things at the cup as well?
Yeah.
Because you know, I'm disappointed that we're out of the cup, and it's yeah, you've got to give the fact that we were playing Manchester United. That's got to be factored into the equation because that's the way they play, and the fact that we nullified them for the full 90 minutes and really, as we say, one slip and yeah, think things go right. You know, that's got to be there's got to be some sort of credit given for that. So yeah, I mean, I guess knee-jerk reactions. It's one of the sort of downsides of having a forum that, you know, the second that the final whistle go, people can come on and say, "I told you so."
Yeah.
But you know, it's a combination of that, and there will be those that are disappointed that perhaps we didn't throw the kitchen sink at them, which kind of doesn't reflect really the practicalities of the game at times. And so yeah, we're all disappointed, but you know, we're out of the cup. Okay, Monday we've got Sheffield United, and anything we can do to send them down. You know, it's back to business. You know.
Well, yeah, very, very much. I mean, we'll come on to that in a minute. Now, I want to have a quick word about Sheffield United before we go, because yes, we're all going to be looking forward to that one, I guess. But I think the point is just my final point on Moyes and the criticism that we all seem to think is rather harsh and unfair. I mean, the other point is, you know, people say that we didn't go for it. And we didn't, you know, we had one shot on target in the entire 120 minutes. That's a fact. But the point is, Manchester United only had 2 or 3 until the final couple of minutes when, you know, we were pushing forward, desperately looking for an equaliser. But let's not forget also that I think it was the 90th minute of that game. West Ham won a corner. Craig Dawson was on the end of it. And with a little bit more luck and a little bit better connection, West Ham will be in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. I mean, those are the fine margins we're talking about, aren't we? You know, we were that close to being in the quarterfinal. Pinky, Rio, I don't know if either one of you guys want to take that up.
And you know, from my perspective, it is fine margins, you know, and yeah, as was the Ben Rama offside when he should have worked the keeper better than he did when he had an opportunity. You're not going to get a hatful of chances at Old Trafford. Even if they put their youth team out, you're simply not going to get a hatful of chances. It doesn't happen. And you know, I just feel that some of the criticism is unwarranted. I mean, it's people's opinions, and they're entitled to them, as the same as we all are about any of our opinions. But you know, we were not parking the bus tonight, and that's the thing I'm sort of a little bit aggrieved about in some of the comments is, you know, the way some of the comments are coming across is as if we had 10 men behind the ball at all times. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We controlled almost all of the second half. We played very large spells of that game, camped in Manchester United's half in the second half. So if that's us parking the bus or being negative, well, we're setting a pretty high bar there. I think we had opportunities to win the game. Dawson, you know, if a better connection, he might have got his head actually on target. A slightly better connection, it might have gone as far as Souček, who's following in at the far stick. And on another night, you get the goal. But you know, consider who we're up against there. Rashford. If you said to our supporters, how many of you, if we could sign Marcus Rashford, would say no? Not many, and yet he barely had a sniff this evening for Manchester United. Not because we'd put 6 or 7 players around him, but actually we defended well as a unit. Again, in play, I commented when they tore up field on one occasion, we had 7 West Ham United players come back as a unit, pack the box, and actually make sure they couldn't get you know, a goal scoring opportunity. Are we expected to suddenly start saying that's bad football? I think that's good football. Attack as a unit, defend as a unit. And in terms of what the manager could do tonight, I think he did everything he could without going the full Ian Pearce up top route. You know what I mean? It's what else could he have tried tonight?
Exactly.
Realistically, that would have made the difference.
Well, I think if I was to have any criticism of Moyes tonight, it would perhaps be with the centre of midfield and the shape of it, because Thomas Souček, who's been imperious since he came to the club, let's be honest, in a year, I felt was a little bit like a fish out of water in a slightly more advanced role tonight. But I say that knowing that if Souček had been playing the regular deeper role and Mark Noble had been placed in that slightly more advanced position, that Moyes would be getting pelters anyway for putting the slow and aging Mark Noble in such an advanced role. So I guess he couldn't win, could he really?
And if he picked Ben Rama instead of Noble and put Souček in his usual position, having just seen us get completely dominated by the might of Fulham a few days ago, never mind criticism on the forum tonight, I'd have been giving them pelters all night on here, because it's kind of like, how many times would you need to see it with your own eyes? Yeah, that actually Ben Rama, when he has to do more of what I call the donkey work, perhaps isn't the play. And that's not running around. He runs plenty, but he also gives the ball away plenty. Perhaps isn't quite physical enough in one or two areas, and perhaps lacks the vision needed to play more in the middle of the park. So almost what I'm saying is, whatever Moyes did tonight, short of winning, he was going to get some stick, and that squares the circle back to are people just waiting for the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. As we said, I think there's some people, unfortunately, are always looking for an opportunity to, be critical, and as if you're a fan of West Ham, you're always going to get that, aren't you, at some point? So there you go. West Ham, unfortunately, unable to win tonight at Old Trafford. One team that have won at Old Trafford, however, this season, and most surprisingly, is Sheffield United. And it's the Blades who West Ham face in our next Premier League game, which I'm sure we'll all be looking forward to as huge fans of the Blades, as we all are. We have, of course, crucially, perhaps, a week off the game, or 6 days anyway. It's next Monday evening. West Ham face the Blades. It looks like Gnome, they're certain for the drop now. It doesn't look like anything, it'd have to exceed the Great Escape of 2007, I think, for Chris Wilder's lot to stay up. What do you make of that game? And do you think this is going to be a West Ham put back on an even kill, in sense of this is not a certain 3 points, but it's a very good opportunity for West Ham to take 3 points, isn't it? And put this tonight's defeat in the back of our mind and push forward again in the league.
Well, the thing to do is look at tonight. It's a cup game. Okay, close that drawer for the season. Now let's go back to work. And if I were Noble, I'd be getting in there. I'd be telling every single player, look, that lot, they tried to kill our club. Yeah. What are you going to do about it? You've got an opportunity to really lay into them and put them down. I mean, they've been playing a bit better of late, and it wouldn't surprise me to see them finish just above West Brom, because West Brom look equally doomed. But they're also looking like a team that, one of those teams that relegation sort of happens to, where they'll play well when they'll get an equal. Who did they play at the weekend? They got an equaliser, didn't they? And then just they thought, well, we've done the hard work. Suddenly they were 2-1 down, I think. And I mean, again, what sort of side goes out there, of course, depends on how many of the walking wounded when we get back from Manchester are fit and willing. I mean, hopefully, Bonner looked a little bit miffed at not being able to go back on. But equally, it looked a nasty sort of knock that he got. And, even when he was walking around the side of the pitch there, he was hobbling badly. So I'm kind of hopeful that Moyes just thought, well, that's going to hurt. That's going to be a nasty bruise. Let's just cut our losses with O'Connor for tonight. and keep him fresh for Monday. And yeah, we get an extra few hours where he's not actually running on a damaged foot. That we can then sort of look at it, see what it's like in the morning, and get to work on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, strongest possible team out there. Let's see where Antonio is. Again, I wonder how much of Antonio tonight was, given the state of his hamstring. It's cold up there. Let's make sure we can get him through as many league games as possible. But yeah, get the strongest team you get out there. Go out. Noble, get in their ears. Tell them what they try to do to us, and then just boom, let's see, go for it.
On Antonio specifically, Gnome, do you buy that from David Moyes that he was close to playing tonight, or do you think there might be a little more to the injury than might meet the eye?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you've got there's no reason for saying he was close to playing tonight if he wasn't, unless
Well, it could be mind games, I suppose, trying to
But I mean, how does that benefit? When you're playing Man United, well, if you say, he's not playing, but he was close to it. Well, he's not playing. So what? So, I for one would have rested him tonight anyway. Had he been fitter. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. As I say, let's get the strongest team out and see how it goes. I've just thought of one benefit from tonight for the world, by the way, of that match going into extra time.
Okay, go on.
I'm given to believe that the match going into extra time prevented the BBC from broadcasting yet another episode of Mrs. Brown's Bloody Boys. So, hey, rest of the world, thank us later.
I've got to confess, I've never seen this program. I've seen an awful lot of criticism for it, but I dare say I never shall. What I've heard,
I will never get back.
There it is. Sheffield United, Pinky, opportunity to do the double over the Blades and send them back from whence they came. You looking forward to that one?
Yeah, absolutely. And tonight I'd have taken a win in the 92nd minute off anyone's backside, 1-0. Yeah. Against Sheffield United, I'd like to see us score in the first minute, the second minute, the third minute. You get the drift. No amount of goals could pile up that would satisfy my desire to see them completely and utterly humiliated. What they did to West Ham United was despicable, and I hold them to account for them shoving their oar in. That was the real start of our major financial problems, big time. And from then, draw the line all the way through the Icelandics going bust, and then we end up with Gold, Sullivan and Brady coming in, and a trip to the London Stadium. If we didn't have to settle the 25 million quid or whatever it was to Sheffield United, our world might have looked very different. We might have been a more attractive proposition to a different buyer than GSB. So yeah, I think Sheffield United have got plenty to answer for. I'd love to see us thrash them. My only regret is that actually it won't be the game that actually sends them down. Because you know what? Yeah, I'd go the full Keegan. I would go the full Keegan on that. And they just lack the class. And yeah, they've got different ownership and all the rest of it now, and different players and blah, blah, blah. And I know a couple of Blades fans, and they seem perplexed that we won't let it go. Really? Just have the 25 million quid. Yeah, we'll let that go. Yeah, you must be joking. And, just the whole principle behind it, yeah, we're going to blame someone else because actually we weren't good enough that season. It's laughable. And yet they get away with it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope we stuff them. I hope we thrash them. I hope Chris Wilder loses his job. I hope all of their players just burst into tears in the middle of the field. I hope Tony Curry, you know, is looking at it in disgrace. I mean, I could go on here, but I'm not a fan. Yeah.
There it is. Pretty comprehensively done by Pinky. Rio, is it time we let it go? I mean, it's like 13 years ago now. Surely we should move on and forget what happened then. I mean, it's, you know, it's not our money after all.
No, certainly not. Certainly not. We're football fans. We don't let things go. We let things simmer and fester for years, decades, centuries. Let's face it, Sheffield United, I don't think I've enjoyed a game against him since Jimmy Quinn notched a hat-trick about 30 odd years ago and we won 5-0. Every game we play against them is dour, niggly, aggressive, dare I say at times dull. What they've done to us needs no more discussion after Pinky's so nicely put it. My only problem with the game on Monday is that they're on a little bit of a semi-resurgence, aren't they? They picked up a few points. I was hoping they would go for the whole season without a win. They've obviously ruined the form book there. It's going to be a tough game. They're probably coming a little bit of confidence. They've probably got a little bit needle about them, about us. But I think Moyes and his staff are going to get the squad together, give them a couple of days off, ease them into the game on Monday, and I hope we win 27-0.
I'd buy that for $1. Well, there you go. For what it's worth, gentlemen, I couldn't agree with all of you more. I hope they crash and burn, go back, as I said, whence they came and never darken our doorstep again. What they did as a club was absolutely despicable. Your supporters are awful. Your march on London was a complete farce. And as for Sean Bean, you're a rubbish actor and all your movies are trash. So, yeah, looking forward to that one. And as I say, totally echo what the chaps here say. And let's send them down as they wanted to do to us all those years ago. That is about it for tonight. It's been disappointing in the end, but not thoroughly disappointing. West Ham put up a fight and took Manchester United to extra time at Old Trafford, but unfortunately it was misery in Manchester at the end of the game. The Hammers beaten in the 97th minute by McTominay's goal, the only goal of the game, 7 minutes into extra time. As a patched up West Ham team, which made 6 substitutions, a record 6 substitutions in a competitive match, fell to defeat and fell out of the FA Cup very narrowly, the narrowest possible margin. But heads held high, West Ham can come back down the M1, certainly with a great deal of credit for the performance tonight. It wasn't quite good enough in the end, but there's an awful lot of teams that will go to Old Trafford this year and in the future and come away with nothing. But that's it. That's it for tonight. And my thanks to the rest of the team. It's been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure as always, bantering and chatting with you, gentlemen, to Rio, to the Pink Palermo and to Gnome as well. Our thanks to you guys on YouTube for joining us throughout the game, keeping us company. We love to see your comments and always. So thank you very much for sticking with us. We are back on Monday for West Ham United versus Sheffield United. Let's stick it to them, boys. Let's stick it to them. Until then,